What is your dream? Is it getting into a top-tier university, becoming a world-class artist, or just traveling the globe with a suitcase full of cash? For our girl Yin Ying, her dream was always a person, a boy who felt like a star within arm's reach, yet somehow remained light years away. See, 4 years ago, two kids with matching heart-shaped birthmarks fell in love at first sight. It was pure, it was fate, and it was completely cut short when he moved away without her ever getting to confess her feelings. She never saw him again, and that goodbye became a thorn that never stopped stinging. Fast forward 4 years, and our poor heroine is all grown up and heading to the prestigious Long School of Fine Arts. But wait, who is this silver-haired, icy prince standing before her? Move, don't get in the way, he snaps with a voice like a winter frost. Our girl is stunned because he looks exactly like her first love, Ji Yuchuan, but his personality is a total disaster. He's currently being harassed by a clingy ex-girlfriend, and Yin Ying, being the chaotic sweetheart she is, decides to jump in. I am his current girlfriend, let him go this instant, she shouts, trying to be his knight in shining armor. Well, talk about a backfire. Instead of a thank you, she gets a glare that could melt a glacier. Little does she know, this impulsive lie is about to trap her in a win-win contract with the school's most arrogant, cold, and distant genius artist. Soon, the entire campus is buzzing with rumors that a lowly freshman bagged the legendary teacher Ji in a single night. We're screwed, the whole school knows I'm your girlfriend, she panics. But as they play act their romance to ward off unwanted suitors, her heart starts doing that familiar, annoying pitter-patter again. Is she falling for the act, or is she falling for the cactus who hides his thorns behind a paintbrush? But let's back up to how this mess actually started. Back in the day, boys were just childish demons to Yin Ying, bullies who thought throwing snowballs was a love language. She hated them all until she fell face first into the snow and saw him. A boy who was mature, steady, and had the exact same heart-shaped birthmark as her. His name was Ji Yuchuan, and just hearing it made her heart flutter like a butterfly. But the day he left, he handed her a gift and said, "I'm moving, we can't see each other every day anymore." She was too heartbroken to speak, and just like that, her first love was over, or so she thought. Now at 18, Yin Ying is finally arriving at her dream school. She's sitting on the train, trying to ignore the sticky summer heat, when she notices something disgusting. A creep in a suit is secretly taking upskirt photos of a sleeping girl. Our girl isn't about to let a pervert win, so she hits record on her phone to gather evidence. "Hey, haven't you taken enough pictures?" she yells, standing up for justice. The creep tries to play it off, acting like a high-end mighty professional, but Yin Ying isn't buying it. The situation turns south fast when the pervert snaps. "You be *TCH, stop spewing rubbish, give me the phone," he screams, lunging at her. He actually grabs her hair, and Yin Ying is terrified, realizing that the other passengers are just sitting there watching the violence happen in cold blood. Our society is really rotten to the core, she thinks, trembling. But suddenly a cool scent of lavender fills the air and a hand reaches out. A mysterious man steps in, shoving the pervert back with a single powerful move. "Can't you act like a proper person?" the silver-haired stranger growls. He's savage, he's handsome, and he's totally unimpressed by the creep's threats. Once the train attendants haul the pervert away, Yin Ying tries to thank her savior. As she looks closer, her eyes widen. He has a mole on the tip of his nose, just like him asterisk. But the long hair, the piercings, and that fierce, terrifying temperament, there's no way this polar bear is her gentle childhood sweetheart. "Don't touch me," he barks when she tries to ask his name, and Yin Ying immediately retreats, thinking, he wouldn't be able to bear glaring at me like that. She finally makes it to the Long School of Fine Arts, her heart set on meeting a famous internet illustrator named Ray. Rumor has it Ray is a senior here, and Yin Ying is his biggest fan. She's determined to work hard and maybe one day have her own exhibition. Suddenly, she hears a commotion. Teacher Ji is drawing. The students scream, rushing toward the main hall. Apparently, the most handsome guy in school is putting on a live performance. Yin Ying squeezes through the crowd and freezes. It's the fierce guy from the train. Watching him paint is like watching a god at work, and Yin Ying can't help but swoon just a little bit. But as she studies his face, the resemblance to her first love becomes undeniable. In her shock, she accidentally kicks over a bucket of brushes with a loud clang asterisk. I'm so sorry," she squeaks. The artist spins around, his eyes flashing with rage. "What are you doing? Are you going to take responsibility if you spoil something?" he roars. His roommate tries to calm him down, explaining he's been working for 48 hours straight, but Yin Ying is already fuming. "Isn't his temper too horrible?" she grumbles as she walks away. There is absolutely no way this grumpy, pale-faced man is the Ji Yuchuan she remembers. The Yuchuan from her past would warm her hands in the winter and teach her how to draw with the gentlest smile. This guy is just a white, angry polar bear. Frustrated, she kicks the exhibition introduction board, only to realize she left a dirty footprint on it. As she crouches down to wipe it away, she finally reads the artist's profile. Ji Yuchuan, 19 years old, youngest contracted artist. Her world stops spinning as the name sinks in. "You're kidding, right?" she whispers, staring at the face of the man she once loved. Our girl finally gets her hands on the file, and her jaw drops when she sees the name. She can't believe it. This icy guy is actually her childhood friend, Ji Yuchuan. Memories of him asking why she didn't recognize him flood back as she stands frozen in the rain. Suddenly, a massive bolt of lightning rips through the sky. The power goes out, leaving her in total darkness. But she's not alone. She spots him still perched high up on that ladder. She rushes over, fumbling with her phone to provide some light. Shining the beam upward, she tells him to be careful. He looks down, his expression softening for just a second as he mutters a thank you. He actually apologizes for being a jerk earlier, but our girl isn't making it easy. HMPH, I'm old enough not to be petty, she huffs. He teases her, calling her an old freshman, while she plots a way to check him for that secret birthmark. The mood shifts when he reveals his work, glow-in-the-dark paint that looks like a literal galaxy. It's so romantic it almost hurts. She starts to think that maybe, just maybe, he isn't the monster she thought he was. But as he starts to climb down, her heart starts doing gymnastics. Disaster strikes, he slips, and she screams for him to watch out. She reaches out to catch him. It's a total chaotic mess as they collide. And just like that, she's wrapped in his arms. Her heart is pounding against her ribs. It feels like a scene straight out of a movie. She remembers the boy from her past being so sad and quiet. But this version of Ji Yuchuan, he's got white hair, piercings, and a glare that could melt steel. He leans in close, whispering, "Have you touched enough?" The next morning, the campus is buzzing because apparently there's a new hottie in town. And of course, it's him. Ji Yuchuan has shown up as the teaching assistant for the freshman class. He looks absolutely illegal in those glasses. He catches her eye, and our girl is dying of curiosity. The professor introduces him as the top student in the department. He starts calling roll, and when he gets to her name, he stares her down with those piercing eyes. She decides to be a little brat and sticks her tongue out at him. He is not amused. In fact, he's so petty he marks her absent right to her face. "Hey, wait," she yells. She flashes him a dazzling smile, and for the first time, he actually cracks a tiny smirk. She's highly suspicious. He clearly knew who she was before he even checked the list. Later, she tries to show off her artistic skills. He takes one look at her drawing and absolutely roasts her. "What is this messy scribble? It looks like it was run over by a car," he deadpans. She leans in close and starts reciting his personal info like a total stalker. She mentions his middle school and his birthday, January 1st, 1998. Looking him dead in the eye, she asks, "You're Ji Yuchuan, right?" The tension is thick enough to cut with a knife. Her heart is thumping like crazy, but he just shuts her down with a cold redraw. He slams her sketchbook shut and she's officially fuming. She decides that if he won't deny it, she'll take it as a win. Annoying, he snaps back. She skips away happily, leaving him looking completely baffled. He's left standing there wondering what on earth just happened. Back at the dorm, she's breaking it all down for her roommates. We meet her bestie, Ji Lings, and the social queen of the floor, Liu Meiya. They decide the only cure for boy drama is a freshman welcome party. Meanwhile, Ji Yuchuan is busy being a secret softie while holding a rabbit. His friend points out that he usually hates being touched, but Ji admits that for some reason he didn't mind her touch at all. It turns out he was hunting for her all along, even picking that specific spot to paint just to see her. But then the mood sours, a girl named Wenya is back in town. And judging by Ji's face, this is going to be trouble. At the party, our girl is busy admiring Ji's back profile while sipping her drink. But the tea is spilled fast. Wenya is his ex-girlfriend. She just got back from Paris and she's a total senior stunner. Our heroine's heart sinks as she remembers their childhood promises. They used to be so close, sharing every little moment. But now she feels like he's pretending not to know her just to please his ex. She wonders if he's truly forgotten everything they had. Drowning her sorrows, she gets absolutely wasted at the party. She starts making firecracker noises like a toddler, bang bang kaboom. Ji tries to handle her, but she's a handful. She looks up at him with teary eyes, feeling dizzy and heartbroken. She starts sobbing, asking how he could do this to her. When other students start filming her for clout, Ji shuts that down immediately. He protects her, telling the others to delete the videos. In her drunken haze, she leans in, and there it is. The heart-shaped birthmark on his neck, it really is him. She lunges at him, hugging him for dear life. "I knew it was you," she wails. He tries to get her to let go, but she's not budging. Suddenly, her childhood friend Chen-Tu shows up and grabs her arm. The two guys face off in a classic drama standoff. Chen-Tu decides she's too drunk and drags her away to get some air. Ji watches them go, looking like a kicked puppy. Later that night, he's alone on his balcony, smoking and looking miserable. He seems to be haunted by the sight of her crying. But then the ex-girlfriend Wenya shows up at his door. She's not here for a friendly chat. "Let's talk," she demands. Meanwhile, our girl is staggering back to her dorm, terrified of the ghosts in the hallway. She sees something white and freaks out. She starts screaming and running for her life. The lock on her door is stuck and she's panicking. She remembers Ji told her that windows could be removed in an emergency. She manages to climb through, only to realize she's in the wrong room. She flops onto a bed thinking she's safe. But then the door opens, it's Ji Yuchuan and Wenya. Wenya sees her and loses her mind. "You hit a woman here," she screeches. Our girl tries to crawl back out the window at the speed of light. Ji tells Wenya to back off and stop touching him. Seeing how much pain he's in, our heroine decides she can't just leave him. She stands up and points a finger at the ex. "What woman so rude, let go of him," she yells. Ji looks like his brain just short-circuited. Then she drops the ultimate bomb. His current girlfriend is Mia, she screams. She hopes he's grateful, but the reaction is definitely not what she expected. Our girl realizes she's officially screwed. The ex-girlfriend Wenya isn't holding back, sneering that our girl is just some sassing fan who sneaked into the bedroom to act like a girlfriend. "Who are you calling a sassing fan?" Our heroine fires back, absolutely offended by the accusation. She's fuming because she's known Ji Yuchuan forever, but Wenya starts interrogating her with trivia about his birthday and favorite foods. Our girl knows every single answer, but she refuses to share his private info with this toxic woman. It quickly devolves into a full-blown catfight with both of them screaming, "Who's stealing whose man?" Suddenly, the man of the hour appears in nothing but a bathrobe, pulling our girl into his side. "Don't be mean to her," he says coldly. "We really are in a relationship." He doubles down on the lie, claiming he fell in love with her at first sight the day before. Our heroine is stuck in a daze, wondering what on earth he's saying. She realizes he wants her to play along, so she leans in and boldly rests her hand on his bare chest. Wenya looks like she's about to explode, screaming that she never even got to touch him there before storming out and slamming the door. Once the coast is clear, our girl finally exhales. But the next morning, the hangover of shame hits hard as she remembers her drunk antics. She recalls dismantling a window and loudly claiming Ji Yuchuan as her own in front of everyone. "Why do I always behave like a pervert when I'm drunk?" She groans into her pillow. Her misery is interrupted by her phone buzzing like a chainsaw. She checks the school group chats and her heart drops. The entire campus is gossiping about how she landed the teacher in a single night. "I'm doomed," she cries, staring at the endless messages from students mourning their crushed dreams. She confronts Ji Yuchuan about his loose-lipped ex, but he's remarkably calm about the whole scandal. He explains that Wenya has a massive ego and a big mouth, so it was only a matter of time before she talked. He then drops a bombshell. Apparently, while drunk, our girl actually rejected him. When she can't remember a thing, he just tells her to forget it. Then he gets serious. "Let's continue acting like a couple," he proposes. It's a strategic move to keep Wenya away and stop her childhood friend from pestering her. Our girl is hesitant, worried she'll be stuck and unable to find a real boyfriend for a whole year. He finally plays his trump card. Wenya threatened to report his illegal pet rabbit Jizzy to the school. Our girl's heart melts instantly. She'll do anything to save the bunny. While she's busy cooing over the rabbit, she spots an email on his laptop addressed to teacher Ray. Her eyes nearly pop out of her head. Ray, she gasps. Could her grumpy fake boyfriend actually be the famous idol artist she's been searching for? She pounces on him, demanding the truth. He tries to play it cool and tells her to stay away from his stuff. But she's relentless, demanding to see his private messages as proof. In the heat of the struggle for his phone, they both lose their balance. They crash to the floor, knocking over a massive canvas in the process. They end up pinned against each other as a bucket of purple paint splatters everywhere. The romantic tension is high, but it's short-lived because that painting was a masterpiece he'd been working on for 6 months. Feeling incredibly guilty, our heroine offers to do anything to compensate him. Ji Yuchuan smirks, realizing he has her right where he wants her. "Work for me, do anything?" he asks. Before she knows it, her fake girlfriend status has been upgraded to studio slave. He assigns her everything from cleaning pallets to scrubbing the rabbit's litter box. As they walk through campus covered in paint, the other students whisper that they must have had a very passionate fight in the studio. Our girl grumbles that she's basically just a glorified employee now. She asks him how he keeps his identity as Ray a secret, and he explains he uses 2 completely different art styles to throw people off. He then teases her about the non-segregated dorms, asking if she wants to share a room with him too. When she notices his sweet-smelling cigarette, he offers her a puff. She blushes, thinking about the indirect kiss, but he just calls her a dumbass and tells her not to start smoking. Despite all the bickering, one question lingers in her mind. Why does he always wear long sleeves in this sweltering summer heat? The landscape sketching class is officially in session, but our girl Yin Ying is in a bit of a pickle because her partner called in sick. Just as she's bracing herself to go solo, Professor Liu swoops in with a suggestion that makes her heart skip a beat. "Why don't you guys pair up?" the professor chirps, pushing her right toward the cold and mysterious Ji Yuchuan. Our girl is internally screaming, "Professor Liu, please." While Yuchuan just stares with those icy eyes, the professor doesn't take no for an answer, basically telling them to go play nice and take care of each other. Yuchuan doesn't wait for an invitation, taking off with those long legs of his while Yin Ying struggles to keep up. They eventually reach the perfect lookout spot, overlooking the entire Longshan city. It's breathtaking and Yin Ying is ready to get to work, but Yuchuan has other plans. While she's pulling out her sketchbook, he just flops down into the grass. "Why are you always lying down?" she asks, totally annoyed. He just gives her a look and reminds her that as the teaching assistant, he doesn't actually have to draw, he's just here to supervise. He's gifted at drawing, sure, but he's clearly a pro at slacking off too. He tells her she should bask in the sun because she's looking a little pale, but then the mood suddenly takes a dark turn. Out of nowhere, he mutters that it's been dead for almost 2 years already. Yin Ying freezes, her mind racing as she wonders what on earth happened to him while he was in America. He's like a book filled with secrets, and she's terrified that asking the wrong question might trigger some deep, unhealed scars. Distracted by her thoughts, she looks down and realizes she's accidentally spent the whole time sketching *him*. F*ck, why did I draw him? She panics, but it's too late, he's already standing over her. He demands to see her progress, and our girl goes into full-blown panic mode, flipping her sketchbook over and screaming, "Wait, you can't look at this piece." But Yuchuan is faster, and when he finally sees the drawing, he doesn't hold back the sass. "Even though my legs are long, I don't think they're this long," he quips, pointing out her terrible proportions. He starts lecturing her on anatomy, even asking how she managed to get into this school with such basic mistakes. Yin Ying looks like she's about to cry, so he awkwardly tries to backtrack, realizing he might have been a bit too harsh. She opens up to him, admitting that while she was the best in her small pond of a secondary school, university made her realize she's surrounded by geniuses. She tells him about her entrance exam and the additional question that asked where her dreams come from. People always called her a empty beauty, saying she was only attractive on the outside with nothing inside. She used her paintbrush as a weapon to prove them all wrong. Yuchuan actually listens, telling her that even geniuses have to work hard and that her effort won't betray her. It's a sweet, rare moment of connection, until the mosquitoes arrive to ruin the vibe. Yin Ying is getting eaten alive and complaining about the itching, which actually makes the ice prince let out a little PFFT. But then he gets surprisingly sweet, pulling out some repellent and actually kneeling down to spray her legs. Why is he suddenly so gentle? She wonders, her heart doing backflips as he carefully tends to her. For a second, he looks exactly like the boy she used to know. But the romantic tension is cut short by a sudden downpour. The weather forecast lied to them, and now they're stuck in a rainstorm on a mountain. They spot a light in the distance, a small bar tucked away in the woods. As they run for it, Yuchuan suddenly stumbles, letting out a sharp crack as he trips. Yin Ying is frantic, asking if he sprained his foot, but he just pulls his arm away and insists he's fine. He seems desperate to keep his distance, even as the rain drenches them both. They finally make it inside, looking like two drowned rats. Yin Ying notices his hair is a mess and offers him a spare hair tie, a cute little pink bunny one. He actually uses it, tying his hair up and looking like a total wet hair prince. But the piece doesn't last long because the bar owner is inside singing at the top of his lungs, and Yuchuan's social anxiety is flaring up big time. He's literally hiding behind the door, but Yin Ying grabs his arm and drags him in. The boss recognizes Yuchuan immediately, calling him a weirdo who usually just buys cigarettes and leaves without saying a word. Since they're stranded by the rain, the boss agrees to let them stay the night for free. Yin Ying is eyeing the cranberry desserts but realizes her phone is dead and she has no cash. To make matters worse, their clothes are soaking wet and freezing. The boss then spots something that makes him do a double take. "You have couple tattoos on your necks." Yin Ying blushes, explaining it's just a birthmark, but when the boss reaches out to touch Yuchuan's neck, the atmosphere turns deadly. Yuchuan slaps his hand away with terrifying force, snarling, "Don't touch me." Our girl has to jump in to mediate, apologizing for his behavior and smoothing things over with the boss. Once they are alone in the tiny cabin, she starts overthinking again. Why does he hate being touched by strangers so much now? He was never this extreme when they were kids. She realizes she's been touching him for days without any issues, which only makes him more of a mystery. She heads to the bathroom to change out of her wet clothes, realize she has nothing to wear but an oversized "I love alcohol" t-shirt Yuchuan bought from the boss. It's basically a nightgown on her, and she is beyond nervous about being alone with him all night. When she finally walks back into the room, she catches Yuchuan mid-change. Her eyes go wide as she sees his bare back, but it's not just his muscles catching her attention. There across his skin is a massive, intricate tattoo of a bird and a feather. Our girl is absolutely floored. Since when did her pure childhood friend get tatted up like a rebel? He's definitely not the boy she remembers. Our girl's eyes nearly pop out of her head when she catches a glimpse of the massive tattoo on Ji Yuchuan's leg. With her phone dead and her sketchbook soaked, she's basically vibrating with restless energy while Ji Yuchuan just sits there, calmly reading. She finally cracks and begs to use his phone just to scroll through social media, and to her surprise, he hands it over without a second thought. She's shook by how casual he is about it. Most guys would have a heart attack if a girl asked for their unlocked phone. As she scrolls, she realizes he barely has any friends on his list, but she stops cold when she finds a video of herself from a birthday party last year. Haha, I look so silly when I'm drunk, she laughs, showing him the screen. But Ji Yuchuan isn't in the mood for a trip down memory lane. He just tells her it's past 10 and she needs to go to sleep. Right on cue, her stomach lets out a roar that could rival a lion. Our poor heroine is dying of embarrassment, but Ji Yuchuan just sighs and pulls out a cake he was apparently hiding. Take it or leave it, he says with that classic icy exterior. She's not about to play hard to get when there's dessert on the line, so she digs in, even offering to share since he skipped dinner too. He turns her down, claiming he has zero interest in food and usually survives on salads. Our girl internally judges him, wondering if he actually just drinks stew for breakfast like some kind of forest fairy. The mosquitoes start acting like they haven't eaten in years, so she grabs some repellent to help him out. When she pulls his sleeve up to spray his arm, she sees the tattoo again and can't help but stare. She asks if it hurt and why he always hides it under long sleeves. She tries to tease him, calling the bird a moving moth, which earns her a very serious correction. Then he drops a bombshell. He admits that he finds human skin and being touched disgusting. Our girl feels a pang of guilt for being so close to him, but he quickly adds that rabbit skin. His nickname for her doesn't count. Apparently, because they've known each other so long, she's the only exception to his touch aversion. He tells her to stop being self-conscious and just get some sleep. As the rain patters on the roof, they settle down on the couch together. Our girl watches him fall asleep, her heart heavy with questions about what he went through during the years they were apart. In the middle of the night, things get cozy, way too cozy, as they end up instinctively hugging each other in their sleep. When she wakes up and sees his face just inches from hers, her heart nearly does a backflip. She thinks about all the men who tried to pursue her over the years, but realizes that absolutely none of them could ever match up to him. But why are you with another girl? She wonders, the pain of seeing him with Wenya still stinging her chest. We get a dark flashback to 22 months ago in America, where Ji Yuchuan was at his lowest point. He was depressed, unable to draw, and haunted by rumors spread by anonymous haters. In his moment of total vulnerability, a red-haired woman named Wenya appeared, boldly telling him, "I like you, so get together with me." It's a new day, and Yin Ying is back to being a prickly pear, waking him up by screaming that they're late for the studio. She's taking out all her pent-up frustration on the canvases, hammering them so loudly it's a miracle they don't break. Ji Yuchuan can tell something is wrong. She's been gloomy and silent ever since they got back from the mountain. Our girl is trapped in a spiral of overthinking, wondering if she's being irrational. She tells herself she needs to focus on her dream of being a top artist instead of some trivial romance. But every time she looks at the bunny she rescued, she's reminded of Wenya and feels like her heart is being put through a paper shredder. Finally, the tension snaps. Ji Yuchuan apologizes for accidentally kicking her off the couch during the trip, thinking that's why she's mad. She loses it, calling him a total lunkhead for being so oblivious. "It's been 4 years, you stood me up and deleted my contact." She cries out, revealing how much she suffered while waiting for him. She tries to storm out for fresh air, but he grabs her arm, his expression desperate. "I don't like her, I never liked her," he confesses, finally addressing the Wenya situation. He begs her not to be angry and promises to explain the whole truth right now. Our girl is stunned. Is the misunderstanding finally about to clear up, or is there another twist waiting in the wings? Ji Yuchuan might look like a cold prince now, but he's actually a guy with a massive ego hidden under a layer of talent. Since he was a kid, he was a literal god with a paintbrush, winning every city award in sight, but he kept his head down to avoid the drama. Too bad that didn't stop the haters. By the time he hit 13, his classmates were already whispering, calling him a sissy just because he was better at art than sports. They'd sneer that art was only for girls, proving that middle schoolers have always been the absolute worst. It gets even more toxic in the art room when a group of bullies corners him. They spot his heart-shaped birthmark and treat it like some sort of crime against masculinity. "Hey, heart symbol guy, why are you wearing pants today?" one of them mocks while holding up a literal skirt. Our poor guy became the ultimate target for their twisted insecurities. Fast forward to 18 months ago in Longhi City, and the gossip mill is still running at full speed. People are buzzing about the American genius returning to China, wondering if the air in the States made him even more elite. Yuchuan just sighs, thinking about how people's trashy habits never change regardless of the continent. His friend Wang Shidu sneaks up on him, teasing him about being at Wenya's fashion showcase. Shidu is currently broke thanks to a stock market crash, so he's really pushing Yuchuan to give Wenya a chance since she's been chasing him for 2 months. Yuchuan isn't having it. "She bothers me after class every day," he complains, but Shidu reminds him that she's a talented beauty. It turns out Shidu actually tried to chase her back in the day, so he knows she's a catch. But Yuchuan's heart is already occupied by his white moonlight, even though he claims she rejected him years ago. We see the flashback to that fateful rejection. A week before he moved overseas, Yuchuan spent nights carving a special firecracker box with a hidden mechanism. He left it at her door, hoping for a miracle. but the next day he found the box lying abandoned in the snow. Inside was his heartfelt note, "Yi, wait for me, then let's get married." Seeing it discarded like trash, his pride was absolutely shattered. He decided right then and there to ghost her and leave for America a day early. "Since she doesn't like me, it would be better to end things here," he thought, leaving his little sister Shiyu confused as he walked away from his old life. Back at the fashion show, when he approaches him with stars in her eyes, she asks if he'll finally accept her, but our girl gets hit with a cold MHMM. She's determined though, promising to ask again tomorrow. Shidu warns Yuchuan that if he doesn't start selling art or finding inspiration, he won't even be able to pay his school fees. But Yuchuan is stuck in the past, remembering why Yin Ying was so special. While he was being bullied for his birthmark, he met Yin Ying, who had the exact same mark. But while he was treated like a freak, her friends thought it was cute. She was always a ray of sunshine, greeting him with a huge smile. He felt relieved she wasn't suffering like him, but he was also deeply confused. "Why is she treated so well while I have to suffer through such violence?" he wondered. Seeing her happy family life, he felt like she was a version of himself from a happier alternate universe. And just like that, he fell hard. Back in the present, Shidu convinces him that one rejection shouldn't be the end of the world. You should continue chasing her even after getting rejected. Shidu argues, insisting that love will bring back his lost artistic inspiration. Yuchuan finally caves. He decides to put his dignity aside and try one last time. He buys a cranberry cake and a massive bouquet of the pinkest flowers he can find, heading back to her city on her birthday, July 7th. He's actually smiling on the train, feeling hopeful for the first time in forever. He arrives at Yin Ying's apartment and starts overthinking his hair, worried she won't recognize him through the intercom. He rings the bell, his heart doing backflips, but there's no answer. He waits on the swings for hours, looking like a total loner while kids point and stare. By 10 p.m., he's desperate and tries to call her old number, only to find it's disconnected. He manages to find a social media post from an old acquaintance showing Yin Ying's birthday party at a KTV. He zooms in on the photo and his heart stops. There's a guy standing right next to her. He rushes to the location only to see the nightmare in person. A man is holding Yin Ying close, telling her not to drink so much. Watching them hug, Yuchuan realizes he's too late. He leaves the flowers behind, convinced their paths will never cross again. He spirals into a dark place, surrounding himself with empty bottles. He thought he was emotionally stable, but this was the breaking point. Wenya finds him completely wasted, and even in his drunken stupor, he's still mumbling Yin Ying's name. Wenya sees her chance. She tells him his muse is officially out of the picture and proposes a deal. "Let's just try for 2 months," she says, promising to help him get over the pain. She claims she feels his pain because she's been rejected by him so many times. Exhausted and broken, Yuchuan finally gives in. "Fine," he whispers, agreeing to a relationship born out of pure desperation. Yuchuan admits that back then, Wenya actually stayed true to her word. He tried his absolute best to remember the things she liked and understand her true personality, hoping he could eventually feel something. But from the start, like that stemmed purely from sympathy. "Is wrong, isn't it?" he confesses. As they walk together, our girl is stunned to learn they only dated for a month before breaking up. "But why is she still pursuing you so relentlessly?" Yi asks, her mind wandering to scandalous possibilities. Yuchuan looks at her like she's grown a second head. "The hell, no way," he snaps. It turns out their relationship was so innocent it's almost painful. The most they ever did was hold each other's pinky fingers. Yi realizes that Wenya is just like her, someone who fell in love at first sight and can't let go. The conversation shifts to the guy from the karaoke bar, and Yuchuan reveals he knew exactly who Yi was the moment he saw her on the train. "That birthmark of yours isn't something a normal person would have," he says, pointing toward the distinct heart shape on her skin. He admits he was going to let the train attendant handle the conflict, but then the creep yanked her hair. "And that was my last straw," he says, his voice dropping an octave. Yi is annoyed that he acted so indifferent at first, but Yuchuan explains he was just trying not to be an anomaly in her life since he thought she had a boyfriend. He even addresses the elephant in the room, the ignored emails. He didn't ghost her on purpose, he just lost his password and couldn't get the verification codes while he was in America. Our girl's face turns bright red as she realizes he might actually read them now. Don't, those emails I wrote were super embarrassing," she screams. Even though the misunderstandings are cleared, they both feel they need more time to process their feelings. For now, they decide to keep up the artificial relationship. While heading into an art supply store, Yi spots a girl who looks like she hasn't slept since the last century. As Senior Wenya, she gasps, barely recognizing the unkempt girl with massive dark circles. While Yi is distracted, Yuchuan's thoughts take a dark turn. He receives a call from Shiyu, which triggers a flood of painful memories. He ponders the meaning of love while remembering a cold, rainy funeral from his past. To him, love isn't a fairy tale, it's a tangent that instills nothing but fear. Back in the store, Wenya is back to her usual snarky self. She mocks Yi's average art skills and laughs at her height. But the mood shifts when Wenya mentions Yuchuan's white moonlight, the one girl he'd sacrifice himself for. Wenya claims that since they've known each other since childhood, she is that girl. She warns Yi that Yuchuan changed drastically last August, becoming a thorn who wouldn't let anyone touch him. However, Wenya points out a glaring truth. Yuchuan is buying Yi premium professional paints even though he's broke and running away from home. You better not make him sad, Wenya warns, surprisingly looking out for him. Later, our girl is working hard at the studio, determined to help Yuchuan by nailing canvases. But she's a bit of a klutz and ends up nailing her own hand. I nailed my hand, it hurts, she cries out. After cleaning the wound, she's so exhausted from staying up all night that she falls fast asleep on the floor. When she wakes up, it's already 3 p.m. She's missed all her classes. But then she notices something strange. There's a fresh bandage on her hand. She realizes that while she was sleeping, Yuchuan must have come back and carefully, clumsily bandaged her wound. She finds him outside and confronts him about it. Not only did he fix her hand, but he also marked her attendance so she wouldn't get in trouble. He tells her she doesn't have to work for him anymore, but Yi finally sees the truth. All those chores, like drawing gradient cards and nailing canvases, weren't punishments. They were exercises to help her pass her difficult oil painting course. "Why are you so nice to me?" she whispers. Touched by his secret protection, our girl makes a final decision. The fake relationship, I'll do it, she declares. She promises to play along and keep other girls away from him. Yuchuan gives her a rare, gentle head pat. "From today onwards," he says softly, "it's our first day dating." Ji Yuchuan reaches out with a gentle all right. He gives our girl a soft pat on the head, looking more tender than we've ever seen him. "Today will be our first day of dating," he declares, making it official. Our heroine can't help but blush under his touch, her heart doing backflips. He asks if she's free this Sunday afternoon, and before she can even process it, he pulls out a ticket. "Are you bringing me to an aquarium?" she asks, her eyes sparkling with excitement. He noticed she's been feeling down lately and wanted to cheer her up. She gives him the biggest, most precious smile and cheers. "All right then, I'm free." When Sunday rolls around, our girl shows up looking absolutely darling in a blue daisy print dress. She spots Ji Yuchuan waiting for her, looking like a total snack in a crisp white suit. "Ji Yuchuan," she calls out, rushing toward her handsome date. He greets her by fastening a locker key around her wrist, telling her to check the locker before they leave. As he looks at her, he can't help but think she's beautiful. With a shy "oh okay," she follows him into the magical underwater world. The aquarium is breathtaking, filled with glowing jellyfish and majestic sea life. Our girl points at a lazy polar bear and teases, "Mr. Ji, this polar bear looks a lot like you. It only knows how to laze around." He takes the insult way too seriously, arguing that polar bears are actually smarter than her. But the romantic vibe is suddenly interrupted when they both realize something creepy. "We're being followed," they whisper, and sure enough, their friends are lurking in the shadows wearing sunglasses like total weirdos. Ignoring the stalkers, they watch an Arctic hare stand up on its long legs. The crowd starts pressing in and our girl begins to panic. She remembers that Ji Yuchuan absolutely hates being touched by strangers. When someone bumps into him, she leaps into action, pinning him against the glass to shield him. "Don't be scared, I'll protect you," she exclaims bravely. He's stunned by her boldness but quietly thanks her, noticing she's the one who should be careful in her short skirt. As they move deeper into the exhibit, the conversation turns serious. Yin Ying mentions how romantic his name sounds, believing the story that his parents met and fell in love in the city of Yuchuan. But the mood turns ice cold as he admits, "My name, it was all just a lie." He reveals that his mother isn't even around anymore. With a dark look in his eyes, he asks her to never mention his family affairs again. Feeling terrible for stepping on a landmine, she reaches out to him as he walks away. She tentatively hooks her pinky finger with his, trying to bridge the gap. He looks down, wondering what she's trying to accomplish. Suddenly, her heart begins to hammer against her ribs, thump thump. Instead of pulling away, he slides his hand into hers, gripping it tightly. His large hand is trembling ever so slightly, as if he's silently begging her for comfort. He holds on as if he's terrified of letting go. The connection between them is electric as they stand before the jellyfish. They walk hand in hand, the tension finally beginning to melt away. He asks if her hand hurts from his tight grip, but she just wants to move past the sadness. She consults the map and realizes the mermaid performance is about to start. As the mermaid dives into the tank, Yin Ying is absolutely mesmerized. "It's as if she's a real mermaid," she gasps, her eyes wide with wonder. Ji Yuchuan has to literally cover her mouth to stop her from gawking so hard. Since it's too crowded to see well, he suggests heading to the Doll Memorial Hall instead. Yin Ying jokes that she might just interview to be a mermaid herself, leaving him trailing behind her in confusion. Meanwhile, on the other side of the tank, their friend Shen Tu has completely lost them. He ends up accidentally making a little girl cry by telling her mermaids don't exist. But even the cynical Shen Tu is silenced when the mermaid swims by. She is breathtakingly beautiful, and for a moment, he actually believes in fairy tales. Back with our main couple, they've found a quiet spot among the plushies. They're both squatting down like adorable goobs because they don't know what else to do. Yin Ying pulls out a pair of bear ears and insists he wears them. "No," he says flatly, but she won't take no for an answer. She chases him down until he finally gives in to the matching look. As she adjusts the ears on his head, she looks him in the eye and makes a promise. "The things you don't wish to talk about, I won't ever mention them again," she says softly. She tells him that whenever he's unhappy, he can always come to her. He looks at her, clearly moved by her kindness. To lighten the mood, she suggests they take a picture together to make an official declaration online. He's incredibly stiff and awkward, having never uploaded a photo in his life. But then Yin Ying lets out a sudden achoo, and the absurdity of the moment makes him crack a tiny smile. She tells him to keep that smile and pulls him closer for the shot. A 1, 2, 3 click. They post the adorable photos of their date, and that official declaration goes live. Back in the crowd, their friends see the post and absolutely lose their minds. Our girl is finally making her move, and the world, or at least their social media feed, knows it. It's been 3 weeks since that legendary aquarium date, and the pressure is officially on at Longhee Arts Academy. Midterms are here, but forget bubble sheets. These students have to survive a brutal public critique of their original artwork. Our girl is currently running on caffeine and pure desperation, painting like her life depends on it. "I'm gonna die," she groans, while her friend Yi finally calls it a night, leaving our heroine to battle the canvas alone. As the night air turns chilly, our girl takes a moment to breathe. She notices the flowers she received are still holding on strong, looking as fresh as the day she got them. It takes her back to 3 weeks ago, right after the dates. Mr. Ji was trying to be all business, transferring money for the toys they got, but our girl wasn't having it. "There's no need, you bought the tickets and I gave you $1 in return, isn't that fair?" she insisted. She didn't want his money, she just wanted to cherish the memory of that day. But the real surprise came at the lockers. She opened hers to find a massive bouquet of fresh flowers waiting for her. It was the first time in her life a guy had ever done something so romantic. Looking at him, she realized that despite his icy exterior and confusing changes, he's actually the warmest and most caring person she knows. They're both still searching for the answers to their heartstrings, but for now, this is enough. Back in the present, the classroom is a literal zombie zone. Even the resident golden boy, Shen-tu, looks like he's about to pass out. Everyone is shaking in their boots because word on the street is that Ji Yuchuan is a total demon when it comes to grading. "He probably wouldn't go as far as to embarrass you," her friend whispers, but then the door creaks open and the tension hits the ceiling. Ji Yuchuan walks in and he's brought a guest judge, a legendary senior from the film department named Lai Dao. Our girl's jaw drops because she recognizes her immediately. "The pretty mermaid lady," she gasps internally, remembering her from the aquarium. The evaluations begin and Ji is living up to his nickname, the demon school hunk with a vicious tongue. 1 second he's being a total sweetheart, ruffling our girl's hair and telling her not to be nervous, causing the whole class to squeal at the PDA. The next, he's absolutely obliterating every other student's soul. "Your composition is a mess," he snaps, basically telling one poor kid he has a Pacific Ocean brain. Our heroine is vibrating with fear as she watches her classmates get torn to shreds. During a break, Shen-tu spots Lai Dao at the vending machine. This guy's ego is so big it has its own gravity. He actually thinks she's obsessed with him because of the aquarium incident. "I already have someone I like, sorry," he says, rejecting her before she even opens her mouth. Lai Dao just blinks at him like he's a particularly confusing bug. She drops a massive reality check on him, explaining that her vision was blurry underwater and she couldn't even see who he was. She remembers him only as the jerk who blocked the view and made kids cry. "You didn't even know basic knowledge like that?" she asks mockingly. Shen-tu is so humiliated he basically evaporates into a cloud of shame, running away while screaming an apology. Lai Dao watches him go, simply noting that he's interesting. But the break is over and it's finally our girl's turn to face the music. She puts her artwork on the wall, her heart pounding against her ribs. Everyone is whispering, wondering if Mr. Ji will go easy on his girlfriend or if he'll stay true to his vicious reputation. She's poured her heart and soul into this series, skipping meals and sleep just to get it right. Ji Yuchuan stares at the painting with an expression that is impossible to read. Our girl's heart stops. What on earth does that look mean? The story of Chen-tu and Yin Ying goes way back, literally starting before they were even born. Their mothers were best friends who grew up together, and they even planned to give birth at the same time. When Chen-tu was just 8 years old, he returned to China, and it was love at first sight the moment he saw Yin Ying's soft, pinchable cheeks. Fast forward to age 18, and Chen-tu has grown into quite the heartthrob. He's constantly getting confessed to because of his face, his family's wealth, or his charming personality. But because he was raised by such good parents, he's always considerate and gives every girl a proper, gentle rejection. However, one specific girl managed to leave him completely speechless. He even started feeling self-conscious about his casual school clothes whenever he was around her. He finds himself wishing he could show a better side of himself to Lai Dao. But for now, our boy is still pretty oblivious to the real sparks flying. Meanwhile, things are getting icy elsewhere as a phone sits in a very loud silence. Ji Yuchuan is currently being ghosted by his girlfriend, and it's been 3 long days. He laments to his friend that she used to send him the most random updates, like pictures of snails she found on the road. His friend Zhu Zhang isn't exactly helpful, suggesting that if she's unhappy, he should just leave her alone. Ji Yuchuan is left wondering what he could have possibly done to deserve the cold shoulder. Flashback to the art studio where we see exactly why she's mad. Ji Yuchuan was being an absolute terror of a critic. His tone, so scary, our poor girl Yin Ying thought as he hovered over her work. He didn't hold back, demanding to know if her traditional drawing skills were just lacking, or if she was taking the easy way out. Yin Ying was visibly trembling under his gaze. He went on to say that her use of light polluted the piece, even though she just wanted the fireworks to look brighter. He called her work unprofessional and told her she shouldn't have even been accepted into the program with such basic skills. The ultimate low blow came when he accused her of just messing around with a 3-week assignment. Our girl was devastated. Messing around, she whispered, feeling like all her hard work meant nothing. Even the instructor had to step in and tell Ji Yuchuan to watch his mouth. Back in the present, Yin Ying is pushing herself to the limit, painting late into the night. Her friend notices she's burning up and tries to get her to go home, but Yin Ying refuses. She needs to practice because a professional model is coming soon. She admits she's still holding a massive grudge over the messing around comment. Suddenly, the instructor announces it's time for a quick sketch lesson. Since the original model is running late, he's brought in some reinforcements. To everyone's absolute shock, out walks Ji Yuchuan and his friend. The girls in the room are losing their minds over the nude model surprise. Yin Ying is internally screaming, Ji Yuchuan's nude model. As it turns out, Ji Yuchuan was actually looking for a way to cheer her up and thought this might work. He remembered the things she liked and had a bright idea. But as he starts to pose, the classroom turns into a total circus. The other students are practically swooning. Yin Ying tries to keep it together, glaring at him and thinking, let's see how far you'll strip. The instructor has to clarify that because this is a school setting, they aren't going full nude, but they'll be focusing on muscles and clothing folds. The time sketches begin, but Yin Ying is still annoyed. She keeps catching him staring directly at her while he poses. She thinks he's being incredibly shameless acting like this in public. As if I'll ever fall for you, she fumes, though the narrator notes she's already long gone. Her friends start whispering that Mr. Ji must be doing this just to coax his girlfriend after their fight. Yin Ying is confused, not knowing what his game is. Every time their eyes meet, her heart does a double thump. She tries to focus on her sketch, wondering why he won't stop staring. For the final 30 minutes, the instructor has the model change to a lying down pose. Ji Yuchuan thinks to himself that as soon as this is over, he'll take her to dinner and finally apologize for what happened. But the relaxation of the pose backfires, and he starts feeling a little too comfortable. 30 minutes later, the man is fast asleep. Yin Ying is absolutely livid. He actually fell asleep with his chest out, she fuming. She packs her bags and storms out, declaring she'll never speak to him again. Ji Yuchuan wakes up confused, realizing he messed up big time. The instructor tells him she stomped away in a total rage. But then the mood shifts. The instructor reveals that Yin Ying actually has a fever, and her condition worsened after getting so angry at him. Realizing she's sick and alone, Ji Yuchuan doesn't waste a second and sprints after her toward the dorms. He's realized too late that his face isn't enough to fix a broken heart, especially when a fever is involved. Outside the dorm, the moonlight hits Ji Yuchuan as he stands by the window, his voice full of a rare, desperate edge. Yin Yin, open the window, I have something to tell you, he pleads, but the room remains deathly quiet. Growing more frantic, he admits he's worried sick about her fever and threatens to break the glass if she doesn't answer. He peers through the pane, searching for any sign of life, until finally a soft asterisk clack asterisk signals our girl has given. Yin Yin looks absolutely drained, her pink hair messy and her eyes glassy from the illness. They share a heavy, silent moment through the frame, the tension between them thick enough to cut with a knife. Once inside, Ji Yuchuan doesn't waste a second, checking to see if she feels any better. He sits by her bed, tenderly feeding her kanji spoon by spoon. He looks into her eyes and feels a sudden wave of heat that has nothing to do with the room temperature. He tries to play it cool, but internally he's spiraling, wondering why touching her feels so different tonight than it ever did before. Our girl isn't making it easy for him, though, telling him to just go home if he's done. I came to apologize to you, he mumbles, admitting that his critique of her midterm was way too harsh. He looks like a kicked puppy as he confesses he shouldn't have accused her of lying. Tears well up in Yin Yin's eyes as she looks at him. She finally breaks, sobbing that she's never been treated so aggressively by him in her entire life. She explains that the whole school now thinks she's a failure, even though she stayed up for days drawing until she literally collapsed from a cold. I don't like you like this at all, she cries, her heart breaking because she cares for him so much. Ji Yuchuan listens, looking completely devastated as she mentions how he made a scene in class. She keeps rambling through her tears about the nude model who didn't show up. But then Ji Yuchuan drops a truth bomb that stops her cold. He reveals he was planning to sit for her himself, and the only reason he's been acting out is because he saw her looking at guys with good bodies on Weibo and thought he needed to show off his own muscles to get her attention. I like letting my lover stare at my muscles for hours, he admits with total sincerity, leaving our girl completely stunned. Yin Yin looks away, her head spinning. She reminds herself that they are just a fake couple and she has no right to be this affected, so she tells him to just go home again. He sits on the edge of her bed, whispering her name. He reaches out to gently wipe her tears, telling her that if she keeps crying, he'll never be able to leave her side. He looks at her with such longing, realizing she has that specific I need a hug look on her face. The room goes silent for a beat, before they finally reach out for one another. He pulls her into a tight embrace, promising that he will change for her. They hold each other close, the air filled with the scent of lavender and unspoken feelings. He promises never to be harsh again. Yin Yin blushes a deep red, whispering, I hate you. But her actions say the opposite as she refuses to let go of the hug. He holds her hand firmly, repeating his apology while burying his face against her. He looks so sincere it hurts. Don't cry, okay, he soothes. She keeps insisting she hates him the most, clinging to his shirt like her life depends on it. When he asks if she really hates him, she gives a stubborn yes. But he just rubs her head affectionately and tells her to watch his future behavior. As she starts to drift off, Ji Yuchuan begins to open up about his past, mentioning that when his mother left a year ago, she was actually pregnant. Even with a baby on the way, she still chose to abandon them, and after that, he stopped understanding how emotions worked. He admits he's done things to hurt people without caring, but he never wants her to be the one suffering. If I hurt you again, please tell me, he whispers. He asks if she's listening, only to realize our girl has completely passed out in his arms. He smiles, calling her a soft little stove as he tucks her in. Her dangerous fever has finally broken. 2 hours later, she blinks her eyes open and is surprised to see him still there. When she asks if he wants to leave, he gets a bit grumpy, asking which of her eyes saw him wanting to go anywhere. He looks a bit flustered and wonders if he's being too aggressive again. He starts rubbing her arm with a towel to help cool her down, making her jump in surprise. 38.5 degrees, lady, he notes, staying focused on her recovery. She watches him, her heart thumping wildly against her ribs. She complains that the rubbing is itchy and tells him to just sit on the bed with her. He gets all shy, pointing out he's wearing outside pants, but she insists he'll ruin his back sitting in that tiny chair all night. They settle in together, and she grabs his hand, making him promise not to leave. What if I have a fever when you come back? She pouts. He calls her a roasted bunny and tells her to just get some sleep. Suddenly, she remembers something important. She asks him to call Shen Tu back because she doesn't want him to worry. She even suggests showing Shen Tu their love over the phone. Ji Yuchuan asks for the password to her phone and she chirpily reveals it's her birthday. The phone rings, but when a voice answers, it's not Shen Tu. A woman with a lazy cat voice picks up, saying she already knows he's taking care of Yin Yin. Yin Yin is instantly confused, recognizing the voice from somewhere. The scene shifts to a mysterious woman sitting alone in a dark room, while Senior Lai Dao lies in bed, leaving us wondering if he's the one who really received that call. Our girl Yin Yin is in a total panic because Lai Dao caused Shen Tu to tumble off a golf cart. Now the poor guy is dealing with a broken leg and a fever on top of it. Yin Yin nervously asks Ji Yuchuan if he should head home for the night, but he's not going anywhere. He stares at her with those dreamy eyes and firmly tells her he's staying put. Now don't think too much and go to sleep, he commands softly. Our heroine tries to relax, but she can't stop wondering what delusional thing Shen Tu must have said to trigger such a disaster. Meanwhile, over at the prince's bedside, the narcissistic blonde Shen Tu is finally resting. Our other leading lady, Dao Gu, watches him sleep and can't help but think he's actually quite handsome when he isn't running his mouth. Suddenly, her phone starts blowing up. It's her editor, CC, demanding the outline for her new novel. Chibai Dao Gu goes into full crisis mode because she completely forgot she hasn't even written an ending yet. Shen Tu groggily opens his eye and immediately starts acting like a brat. Why are you here? He demands. Dao Gu doesn't skip a beat, snapping back. Are you sick or stupid? Last night you opened the door for me yourself. Despite his attitude, she feels guilty since she's the one who technically hurted him. She checks his temperature, 37.8 degrees, and offers to cook him a meal. For a split second, the golden boy actually looks touched by her kindness. Back with the main couple, an alarm starts blaring in the morning sun. Yin Yin wakes up to find Ji Yuchuan still fast asleep, holding her hand tightly. She gently pokes him, reminding him he has a class at 9:30. He wakes up looking refreshed and checks her forehead to see if her fever broke. Yeah, the fever is gone, he murmurs. His warm hand sends a jolt through her, making her feel extremely warm in a totally different way. As he prepares to leave, he gives her a look so gentle she describes it as illegal. Yin Yin can't help herself and lunges in for a massive hug. She looks up at him with puppy dog eyes and asks if he can bring her mini sushi from the cafeteria after school. The big cool senior actually blushes a deep red and agrees. But the real kicker, as he walks away, he calls out, yes, Yin Yin. Our girl is stunned, that's her childhood name. She's so confused and excited she starts jumping around her room like a rabbit. She sprints over to her friend Z's room to spill the tea. She's glowing as she brags about how Ji Yuchuan took care of her all night. Z teases her, asking if this pretend love is starting to feel a bit too real. Yin Ying finally admits it, I actually like him a bit now. She explains that while he used to feel like a distant, quiet senior, spending the whole day together let her see his true, inherent nature. Back at the disaster kitchen, Daogu is proving she should never be allowed near a stove. Asterisk bang, asterisk a cloud of black smoke erupts as she accidentally burns a hole through a pot. Shen-tu is horrified. What are you doing with my kitchen? He yells. It turns out she just ruined an expensive pot he brought back from France. He accuses her of intentionally stalking him at the aquarium and the golf course. Daogu shuts him down immediately. Let me clarify, mermaid performance is my hobby, she says, explaining that her presence at his family's properties is just research for her writing. Her editor calls again, and Daogu decides to describe her current situation in the most hilarious way possible. She tells the editor she's busy taking care of her dog with a twisted leg. Shen-tu's jaw drops. Who are you calling a dog? He hisses. She just puts a finger to her lips, shushing him while telling the editor it's a golden retriever. Talk about a burn. Later that day, Ji Yuchuan and Yin Ying arrive at the prince's luxury apartment. Yin Ying explains that they've called Shen-tu Prince since they were kids because of his hair and his family's wealth. But the playfulness ends there as Ji Yuchuan looks ready for a serious confrontation. Yin Ying reveals her secret hobby. She's actually a writer. Sometimes I write prose, sometimes I write romantic novels, she tells Shen-tu. He's a bit bitter, realizing her current story about a little prince and a mermaid is basically a roast of his own tragic love life. Shen-tu fires back, asking about her female lead, but our girl turns the tables on him. The person you've liked for 10 years, why do you like her? She asks, digging deep into his trauma. He tries to play it cool, saying they aren't close enough for secrets, but she promises him a signed copy of her book if he helps her collect research data for her next project. He starts reminiscing, saying his crush is someone who lives solely to pursue her dreams, and publishing a painting book is her biggest goal. But when Yin Ying asks if he just likes her appearance, he gets defensive. Since I was a child, I have never seen anyone more adorable than her, he admits. Yin Ying can't help but think he's being a bit shallow, wondering if he even knows what real liking is. Suddenly, the doorbell rings. Shen-tu's mood shifts instantly. He's practically wagging an imaginary tail because the girl he loves said she'd visit today. But the aggressive, impatient banging on the door says something is very wrong. He opens it to find his crush, and she didn't come alone. The atmosphere turns icy as she stands there with a basket of apples and a very tall, very handsome, silver-haired man. Yin Ying watches the drama unfold from the side, feeling the tension spike as the prince and the new guy stare each other down. It's a total standoff between the childhood friend and the rival. She has something serious to say, and it's a total heartbreaker. Anyway, now I have a boyfriend. She drops the bomb, making things incredibly awkward. Shen-tu is devastated. Do you like him that much? He asks, his voice trembling. She doesn't hesitate for a second. Yes, from childhood to adulthood, I only liked him. She goes on a trip down memory lane, reminding him that while they were close, she only ever had eyes for the other guy. From growing flowers in spring to pulling him out of the sea in summer, her heart was never up for grabs. She tells him clearly because he's an important friend, and she doesn't want to lead him on. I like Ji Yuchuan, whether it's him before or now, I like him all, she declares. She tells him the world is full of good girls and he should find his own story. Sorry, is all that's left as the door closes on his 10-year crush. Yin Ying watches him spiral into a dark place. He realizes his 10-year story has always been about her, but it was a story he was writing alone. He breaks down, sobbing that no one understands his pain. Yin Ying steps in, bringing him some snacks and finding him looking absolutely pathetic and broken on the bed. Outside, the rain begins to fall, matching the gloomy mood inside the room. Shen-tu is a mess, crying that he hasn't even started his move yet and it's already over. He tries to walk away but stumbles, and Yin Ying has to catch him before he hits the floor. As she looks into his tear-filled eyes, she starts to understand the weight of his feelings. He wonders why she can't like him, feeling like something must be wrong with him. Yin Ying comforts him, telling him that while some crave flesh, others crave harmony in the soul, and his passionate love is actually a precious thing. You are so adorable like that, she tells him softly, seeing a new side to the arrogant prince. Meanwhile, the pink-haired girl walks through the rain with her boyfriend. She admits she was pretending not to know about Shen-tu's feelings to protect their friendship, but she finally realized that suffering clearly is better than waiting for something that won't work. She looks at her boyfriend with total devotion and confesses, the fact that I really like you, I want to truly love and date you. Our boy finally starts to stir, whispering Yin's name as he opens his eyes. As he slowly sits up, still looking a bit dazed with a bunny tucked under his arm, Yin Ying is right there by his side, hovering like a worried mom. She tells him to lie back down since a sick patient shouldn't be moving around, but he's not having it. He reaches up and peels off the fever-reducing patch she stuck on his neck, or at least that's what she *thinks *it is. In reality, our girl was so panicked she grabbed the first absorbent thing she could find, and yeah, it's a sanitary pad. He's just staring at it, noting how well it absorbs water, while our heroine dies of embarrassment in chibi form. Despite the awkwardness, the mood shifts when he looks at her with those puppy dog eyes and asks her to call his name again. Our girl is totally caught off guard, just blinking back at him in confusion. Once he's actually on his feet, he can't stop complaining about her medical choices, asking how she could put that asterisk on someone's head. Yin Yin defends herself, saying she was terrified when she saw him collapse and just grabbed whatever was nearby because she thought he'd caught her cold. She explains that since she ran out of actual fever patches, the napkin was the only way to cool him down fast. He just stares at her, speechless at her chaotic logic. She thinks he looks kind of cute when he's embarrassed, but the domestic vibes get cut short real quick. As she's busy cooking up a storm to get some nutrients into him, she teases him for blushing. But then he drops a total bombshell. Looking out into the distance, he coldly states that he has no plans to love, not now and not ever in the future. The spatula literally slips from Yin Yin's hand with a loud clack. She's stunned, her heart sinking as she processes those icy words. She can't help but wonder, if he's never going to love anyone, then what exactly are they doing right now? Trying to kill the tension, he starts praising her cooking, acting like he didn't just shatter the mood. He even tries to flex his unique skills to get a smile out of her. Yin Yin tries to rationalize it, thinking there must be a deep reason for his trauma, especially with the recent passing of his aunt. But she's still hurt. If he doesn't like her, why does he keep patting her head and acting so sweet? She tells herself she has no right to be angry since she's just a fake girlfriend, but it still stings. He continues to eat, mentioning how he usually gets so lost in his drawings that he barely eats once every 2 days. When Yin Yin tells him he can't keep doing that and that she won't be there to cook for him every day, he suddenly snaps back into jerk mode. Why, what a waste of energy, he says, his voice turning frosty. He looks her dead in the eye and tells her she's not his babysitter. Our girl is officially done. She fumes, telling him to just consider her unlucky for actually caring about him before storming out of the room. He's left sitting there in the silence, finally realizing he messed up big time. He looks around the empty room, wondering if she's actually angry again. Later that night, he tries to wash away his regrets in the shower, but he can't stop thinking about why he always makes her unhappy. He flashes back to her sleeping face, her tears, and the moments they shared, feeling a deep ache. He admits to himself that every time he sees her, he just wants to reach out and pat her head. But then the dark voices of his past creep in. He remembers his father's cruel words telling him he isn't normal and that he has no right to like her. He tells himself to wake up, convinced he's too broken for someone like her. After his shower, he realizes he said all the wrong things. He looks at the strawberries she bought for his bunny, Jai Zai, and starts feeling even more guilty. He tries to talk to the bunny, asking why she was so angry, as if the little fluffball has the answers. He checks his phone, seeing all the messages he sent that she's currently ignoring. He's a total mess of regret. Suddenly, he gets a video call from his sister, Shiyu. She reminds him that tomorrow is the day they need to visit their mother's grave and asks if he forgot again. He tells her he'll be home by 3, but he's clearly distracted. After hanging up, a literal light bulb goes off in his head. He has a plan to get back into Yin Yin's good graces. Meanwhile, Yin Yin is venting to her friends, complaining that it's been a whole day and he hasn't even come to find her. She's offended that he thinks he can just bribe her by sending pictures of the bunny eating strawberries. Her friends tease her, asking if she'd actually care if he showed up right now. She shouts that she absolutely doesn't care, but right then asterisk knock 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 asterisk. Her heart does a literal somersault. Her friends tell the girl in love to hurry up and open the door. She tries to act cool, but she's practically vibrating with anticipation as she heads to the door. She opens it to find him standing there in the dark, looking like a total webtoon prince. He's holding the bunny, looking all shy and awkward. He claims the bunny is a safety precaution and asks her to take care of it while he goes to clean the grave tomorrow. He admits that since she was ignoring him, he didn't have any other choice but to use the bunny as an excuse to see her. Yin Yin finds it hilarious that he's actually trying to be logical for once. She looks into his eyes, realizing he's genuinely trying to coax her back. She gives in and agrees to help, but the peace doesn't last long. Later that night, Yin Yin realizes the bunny has escaped its enclosure. She panics, searching the dark apartment for little Jai Zai. She spots the bunny in the living room and breathes a sigh of relief. But then she looks closer and her soul leaves her body. The bunny is happily gnawing away at her internet cables. "Ah, don't touch my Wi-Fi," she screams as the entire building's connection hangs in the balance. Phew, luckily the Wi-Fi hasn't been cut off yet. Our girl Yin Yin sighs, collapsing onto her bed with the fluffy little bunny, Jai Zai. You'd think it was a peaceful night, but she's been through absolute hell with this baby. Earlier, the little menace decided that the Wi-Fi cables were a 5-course meal, nearly ruining their night. It got so bad that her roommate, Lao Zi, had to protect her paintings like her life depended on it. They even tried building a restraining barrier out of boxes to keep the rabbit contained, but this bunny has the vertical leap of an Olympic athlete and just hopped right out. Yin Yin holds the culprit up, demanding, "How can you pee all over someone's living room?" But one look at those big eyes and she's already folding, cooing about how cute he is while trying to snap a photo. Suddenly, her phone starts buzzing. It's a video call from the man himself, Ji Yuchuan. Our girl goes into a full-blown panic because she's currently rocking the bare-faced and messy look. She dives under the covers, but Yuchuan isn't having it. "It's not like I've never seen it before," he teases. "Let me see." Yin Yin stubbornly refuses to show her face, but then he hits her with the ultimate ego bruiser. "I mean, I want to see Jai's eye." 10 minutes of frantic grooming later, she finally shows herself and the bunny, looking like a total angel. Yuchuan, meanwhile, is looking dangerously handsome while lounging in bed, admitting he doesn't feel good at all without the rabbit around. Yin Yin teases him for being a total softie, but when he softly whispers, "Good night, Yin Yin," her heart does a triple backflip. As she hangs up, she can't help but smirk, thinking about how her net is slowly closing in on him. The mood shifts drastically as we head to a summer cemetery. A silver-haired girl is visiting a grave, and it turns out Yuchuan is right there with her. They're siblings, and the air is thick with old wounds. They talk about their mother, who apparently left them to seek revenge on their father. The sister is a total firebrand, declaring that if her lover ever dared to flirt with someone else, she'd definitely stab him. Yuchuan tries to play the big brother card, telling her she doesn't need to worry about the past, but she just snaps back, "Who are you calling a child?" while pulling his hair. Beneath the bickering, there's a deep fear. Yuchuan vows that when he grows up, he won't be anything like their old man. Later, back at the family villa, the sister asks if he and Yin Yin are official yet. He gives a cryptic yes and no before heading to the study. He's determined to pursue her, but while browsing the shelves, he pulls out a mysterious black book that looks like it's about to open a literal Pandora's box of family secrets. The next morning, things take a turn for the worse. Lao Zi has been pulling all-nighters to finish her drawings, popping aspirin like candy just to stay upright. When Yin Yin finds her, the poor girl looks like a ghost. Yin Yin tries to be supportive, but suddenly Lao Zi loses all color and looks like she's about to collapse. After a frantic trip to the infirmary, it turns out it's just overwork, but Yin Yin is fuming. "If something really happens one day, I won't be able to save you," she cries, hugging her friend tight. As they leave, Lao Zi points toward a bench where Yuchuan is sitting alone, shrouded in cigarette smoke and looking absolutely miserable. Lao Zi nudges Yin Yin to go to him, noting that he looks very moody. Yin Yin approaches cautiously, asking how he is. He reveals he spent the day cleaning his mother's grave, and the weight of the grief is palpable. Yin Yin tries to comfort him, but then he drops a bombshell that shatters her heart. His mother committed suicide last summer. He describes the soul-crushing phone call he received from his sister, Ji Yuchuan, and the moment he realized he was too late. Yin Yin is speechless, overwhelmed by the tragedy he's been carrying alone. To lighten the heavy air, she asks if she can keep the rabbit for a few more days, and the proximity between them starts sending electric shocks through her system. As they sit close in the moonlight, her heart begins to pound so loudly she's sure he can hear it. Looking at her, Yuchuan wonders if he should stay away to protect himself, or if it's finally time to believe in love again. Our girl is shivering like a leaf in the wind, her knees literally knocking together from the chill. Ji Yuchuan notices her struggling and decides it's time to head inside before she turns into a human popsicle. Since her apartment is currently being rented out, she's basically his permanent roommate now, and she begs him to keep looking after her cat, Jai Zai, for just a few more days. "Okay, thank you," she whispers, feeling a warmth that has nothing to do with the weather. He asks if she submitted her paintings for the big exhibition, and while she's hopeful, he's already prepared to be her hero with a backup invitation letter. "Stop, shut your mouth," she teases, playfully hitting him while the other students gossip about teacher Jai and his little girlfriend. She decides she's done playing hard to get and won't probe his feelings with mind games anymore. "SHH, someone is looking," she giggles, clinging to his arm while he turns a delightful shade of strawberry pink. He's feeling confident, claiming he's going to take home the gold award, and he basically begs her to come with him to the ceremony. She plays coy, asking if he really wants her there, and finally agrees to walk by his side as his lover. Fast forward half a month to the annual art exhibition. Our poor heroine's painting wasn't selected, but thanks to her man's invite, she's rocking a stunning navy dress and looking like a total snack. She's on the phone looking for her cousin, Ming Yuan, but accidentally calls out to a total stranger who looks like he stepped straight off a high-fashion runway. This guy, Gao Chuoyi, is a medical student from America, and honestly, he's way too handsome for his own good. The whole gang shows up, including a sister-in-law named Qiu Zai, making Yin Ying feel like she's accidentally crashed a very attractive family reunion. She admits her own work didn't make the cut, but she's beaming with pride because her boyfriend's painting is the star of the show. The stakes are high with a massive 100,000 yuan prize on the line for the winner. Suddenly, a mysterious dark-haired guy named Lai Zun approaches her. He asks her who she thinks will win the grand prize tonight, and when she confidently mentions her boyfriend, he just laughs in her face. "What a pity," he says, with a look that screams he's about to cause some major drama. He starts getting way too close for comfort, but before things get weird, the jealousy king himself arrives on the scene. Ji Yuchuan grabs her hand, his eyes practically shooting lasers at this new rival. The tension is thick enough to cut with a palette knife, as the two guys stare each other down in a silent battle for dominance. Thankfully, her cousin breaks the ice before a brawl starts in the middle of the gallery. Ji Yuchuan pulls her aside, mentioning he's moving into a new house and wants her at the housewarming celebration later. He's being a total gentleman, promising to have her back at the dorm by 11 p.m. sharp. As the awards ceremony kicks off, he asks her to record the whole thing for him. But just as she's settling into her seat in the grand hall, her phone starts blowing up. It's an emergency. Her friend Lao Zi is in the hospital and needs surgery right now. She's stuck in the ultimate drama dilemma: stay for her man's biggest career moment or save her best friend's life. "I'm so stupid, I'll be right there," she cries into the phone, choosing her friend and rushing out of the ceremony in a panic. As she disappears into the night, Lai Zun watches her go with a predatory smirk, thinking she's becoming more and more interesting by the second. Ji Yuchuan is standing in the middle of the awards ceremony, looking like a total snack in that white suit, but the atmosphere is tense. Our girl Yin Ying spots him from across the way, but she hesitates, wondering if she should go over and bother him while the principal is right there. She decides to play it safe and sends a text instead, explaining that her friend Lao Zi's heart condition flared up and she had to rush to the hospital. She's feeling terrible for missing the ceremony, but she promises to head straight to his new house tonight to celebrate his big win. "Wait for me," she writes, setting the meeting for 10 o'clock. Meanwhile, a girl named Wenya has made a sudden return, catching everyone off guard. She's got that mischievous look in her eyes as she asks if our heroine has found some new prey lately. She notices a younger student named Shen Tu staring at them from the hallway. Shen Tu's friends are peer pressuring him, telling him he needs to be brave and ask the senior to act in their final film project. Shen Tu is clearly conflicted, remembering a girl from his past who was bold enough to approach him when he was at his lowest. He finally works up the nerve to approach the senior, hoping he doesn't get rejected. "Senior, we would like to invite you to be the female lead," he blurts out. Surprisingly, she agrees, saying that if it's him asking, she'll do it. Back at the ceremony, things are going south for our male lead. The results are announced, and the film only reaches the top nominations without winning gold. Ji Yuchuan's phone dies at the worst possible moment, right after he sees a notification from Yin Ying pop up. He's left staring at a black screen, wondering where she is and if she's actually coming back. He's not happy, especially since he only walked away with a bronze award. But the real slap in the face comes next. Lai Zun, his rival, is announced as the gold prize winner for oil painting. Ji Yuchuan watches in silence as Lai Zun takes the stage, the spotlight mocking his own loss. As they stand together on stage, the tension is suffocating. Lai Zun leans in, his voice a venomous whisper, telling Ji Yuchuan that the trophy representing absolute honor belongs to him now. He doesn't stop there, though. He leans closer and drops a bombshell. "You and your girlfriend don't seem to be really dating." He tells Ji Yuchuan that if the relationship is fake, he's going to pursue her himself. He claims it was love at first sight and that a girl like Yin Ying is absolutely his type. Over at the hospital, Lao Zi finally wakes up, and our girl is a sobbing mess of relief. Lao Zi tries to play it cool, saying she just needed a little nap, but Yin Ying isn't buying it. It turns out Lao Zi needs a minor surgery to fix a small blood vessel in her heart. Lao Zi scolds Yin Ying for staying up all night to draw for a competition she couldn't even enter as a freshman. Yin Ying just wants to stay by her friend's side until her parents arrive, refusing to leave just because of her boyfriend. She remembers how terrified she was on the way to the hospital, realizing how much her friends mean to her. Ji Yuchuan is left alone at the empty venue, feeling a wave of nausea wash over him. He's spiraling, imagining Lai Zun getting close to Yin Ying, and the jealousy is eating him alive. He's always been the one standing alone at the top, but now that solitude feels like a curse. He heads to his new house, looking like a ghost of himself as he waits in the dark. Yin Ying is finally in a taxi, checking her watch and panicking because she's late. Ji Yuchuan hasn't replied to her texts, and she's getting incredibly impatient as the minutes tick by. It's already 10:30 p.m. when she finally reaches the building. She wanders through the quiet halls until she finds the door marked 707. She pauses, realizing that the room number matches her birthday. Was that intentional? She rings the bell, calling out his name. The door finally clicks open, and Ji Yuchuan is standing there, looking completely disheveled and smelling like alcohol. Before she can even ask if he's okay, he lunges forward and pulls her into a crushing hug. He buries his face in her shoulder, his voice trembling with vulnerability. "I thought you wouldn't come," he whispers, holding onto her like she's the only thing keeping him from falling apart. Ji Yuchuan is acting like a total clingy mess, burying his face into our girl's shoulder while mumbling her name. Yin Ying tries to push him off, but he's deep in his feelings, whining about some guy in a purple ruffled shirt who stole his gold prize. Our poor heroine realizes he's absolutely wasted when he looks up with those puppy dog eyes and whimpers. I'm not okay, I'm not happy. Checking the clock, Yin Yin panics because the dorms are about to close, and there's no way she's making it back in time. Since she can't leave this drunk disaster alone, she decides to stay the night, offering to crash on the sofa to make sure he doesn't choke on his own regret. She follows him into his place, feeling a bit awkward about the sudden sleepover. He gives her a minute tour of his living room where he draws, and his main bedroom, mentioning there's a spare room for storage. Yin Yin just wants to wash the day off, so she asks for some clean pajamas. He hands her a fresh set that's never been worn. But when he starts rambling more drunk nonsense, she blushes hard and tells him to shut it. He points her to the bathroom in the main suite and she scurries inside. Once the door clicks shut, Yin Yin takes a moment to breathe, but she immediately gets hit with the scent of his shower gel and his clothes. She can't help herself and takes a little sniff of the fabric, feeling like a total creep. Her inner voice literally screams at her for being a pervert, telling her to get it together. After her shower, she tries to keep her cool. But as she steps out, she finds Ji Yuchuan sitting pathetically on the hallway floor, hugging a bottle of vodka. "What are you doing? The floor is freezing, get up," she scolds. The big softy pouts, saying he was just worried she'd slip and fall in the bathroom. She manages to herd him back to the sofa, and since she's stuck there anyway, she asks to borrow his laptop to finish a group project. He's surprisingly obedient, looking soft and pretty in his drunken state. Yin Yin's heart does a little traitorous thump, because honestly he's way too cute when he's not being a brooding jerk. 30 minutes of frantic typing later, while he continues to sip on a drink, she finally hits send on those dreaded files. But the piece is short-lived. Ji Yuchuan sees her and starts calling her Ji Zai, which is the name of his pet rabbit. He crawls up behind her, hugging her tight and wondering out loud when his little rabbit got so big. Yin Yin is internally screaming as he nuzzles into her. She warns him not to act reckless, but he's gone full scientist, muttering that if he didn't have a conscience, he'd take this giant prehistoric rabbit away for research. He starts sniffing her hair and touching her face, complaining that the prize money isn't worth as much as she is. His touch is soft, and Yin Yin realizes she's completely trapped in his arms. The drama continues in the kitchen, where he's still obsessing over that seaweed-ruffled shirt gut. They end up back on the floor, where he's throwing a full-on tantrum about winning silver instead of gold in middle school. He reaches out to cup her face again, and she finally snaps, "Look clearly, I'm Yin Yin, not your rabbit." In a moment of if you can't beat M, join M, Yin Yin grabs the bottle and takes a massive swig of vodka so she doesn't have to be the only sane person in the room. Bad move, 2 sips in and our girl is down for the count. Now they are both drunk, snuggling on the rug. He's still brooding, asking if he's really not as good as the other guy. Yin Yin, now equally loopy, tries to comfort him by explaining the difference between surrealism and impressionism. She tells him he's a genius and that a single award doesn't define his talent. He stares at her intensely, whispering her name, before demanding she stops smiling at the purple shirt guy. "You don't even smile at me like that," he complains, sounding genuinely jealous. She realizes he's been holding a massive grudge this whole time. As they sit face to face on the floor, she finally gathers the courage to ask the big question, "Do you like me?" He just blinks at her, calling her a little rabbit who doesn't understand anything. She calls him an idiot, but he just pulls her into a massive hug. The two of them eventually collapse together among the flower petals of their own making. Yin Yin looks at him, noticing how small his waist is. Don't ask why she's looking there. Before he finally faints right on top of her. They end up falling asleep right there on the living room floor, tangled up in each other. Yin Yin watches him sleep for a moment, whispering a soft sleep well before drifting off. Hours later, the clock ticks past 10. Ji Yuchuan wakes up first, finding her still asleep in his arms. He moves carefully, picking her up in a perfect princess carry. He gently tucks her into his own bed, lingering for a second to brush the hair away from her face. After a life full of loneliness and feeling helpless, he looks at her with such intensity. He's finally found the one person he wants to rely on, and he climbs in beside her, holding her close as the night fades away. Actually, our girl is always thinking about one thing: what exactly happened to Ji Yuchuan last year? He fell into a major slump after returning from America, and it's clear that his supposed girlfriend, Winya, wasn't the one who healed him. So, what finally caused his inspiration to peak again? Yin Ying can't wrap her head around it, feeling like a small child lost in the shadow of a giant polar bear. But while they sleep, Ji Yuchuan is trapped in a nightmare of his own making. We get a glimpse into his dark past, a laptop screen flashing news about the second daughter of Man Corporation falling to her death, with rumors swirling about cult involvements. In the flashback, a girl, likely his sister, is screaming into her phone, "My mother is not involved in a cult, nor does she do drugs." She's devastated by the internet trolls blaming the victim, but her brother just sits there silently painting. She turns her rage on him, demanding, "Ji Yuchuan, what about you?" It's been a month since their mom passed, and he hasn't shed a single tear. Instead, he's obsessed, watching surveillance videos of the death night and day. Even their father is cold, telling him he has the same blood as his mother and asking, "Are you sure you're normal?" His sister finally snaps, accusing him of having no conscience at all. Back in the present, the trauma is literally dripping off him. Yin Ying wakes up to find the ice prince isn't so icy after all. He's actually weeping in his sleep. I can't bear it, but He mumbles through the tears. Our girl is stunned. She didn't know this man was even capable of crying. She gently wipes his eyes, assuming he's just miserable about losing a gold prize at some competition. Suddenly, she realizes the awkwardness of their situation. Wait, why are we sleeping together? She screams internally. She remembers feeling a swaying sensation in her sleep and realizes that the polar bear she was cuddling was actually him hugging her tight. Honestly, she's not even mad about it. I like it very much, she admits, deciding to stay in his arms just a little longer. She gazes at him, thinking about how he was the one who brought her dreams to life by teaching her to draw when they were kids. Without him, she'd just be living a normal, boring life. Overcome with emotion, she whispers, Ji Yuchuan, don't cry, and leans in for a soft kiss. He stirs, whispering her name as if he can feel her. The sun rises, and Ji Yuchuan wakes up alone, wondering why on earth he had a dream like that. It felt so real. Yin Ying walks in with some hangover tea, looking like a total snack in his oversized clothes. He's still dazed, asking her this morning, did you wake up? She gets flustered, teasing him by asking if he had a naughty dream. He admits, maybe I saw you, kiss. But our girl is a professional gaslighter. She calls him a narcissist and claims he was the one acting like a maniac last night, rubbing his head in her hair and sleeping on her stomach. She even scolds him for not maintaining male virtue. He's so easily fooled that he just heads off to brush his teeth, feeling guilty. In reality, she did kiss him. He had begged for it while drunk, and though she wasn't ready to break their barrier, she couldn't resist that pitiful, crying face. To cover her tracks, she told his sleeping form, that's right, you're dreaming, this is a dream, tilde. Talk about a pro move. She watches him sleep later, vowing that even though the past is the past, she will always be by his side. But the peace doesn't last long. A week later, a mysterious blonde guy named Shen Tu shows up at the door looking for his senior. Who is this new pretty boy, and is he here to shake things up? Can I come in? Shen Tu asks, hovering at the doorway. Our girl warns him that the place is a total disaster zone because she just finished installing a cat climbing rack and hasn't had a second to breathe, let alone clean. She's surprisingly proud of the chaos, but Shen Tu is just staring at her like, what exactly are you so flexed about right now? He's not here for the interior design tour, though. He just wants the script. She hands it over and tells him to make himself at home while she heads to her room to dive into the lines. Left alone in the living room, Shen Tu is stuck in his head. He's reeling from the fact that she agreed to do the project only if he played the male lead. He looks around, noticing how she even dressed up to welcome him, and he's feeling a type of way. He's literally just coming off a 10-year relationship, yet here he is, unable to deny that our heroine is absolutely stunning. But then the chaos of the house starts grating on his nerves. A cat knocks a bowl over with a loud bang, and Shen Tu realizes he can't just sit in this mess. He decides to take matters into his own hands. He notes that despite the clutter, she clearly adores her cats because the place doesn't smell at all. Next thing we know, he's donned a freaking cat-themed apron and is scrubbing the kitchen like his life depends on it. He's even organizing her desk, worried she won't be able to find anything later. For a guy who grew up with 3 nanas doing all the work, he's surprisingly good at this snail fairy routine. While he's cleaning, our girl is in her room reading a script that hits way too close to home. It tells the story of a girl from a well-off family whose life spiraled after her father died and her mother was arrested. The character in the script ended up with a violent, erratic boyfriend who brutally beat her. She reads about the character's descent into a life of luxury and debauchery just to feel something. She has to remind herself, this is just a scripted story. I shouldn't lose myself in a role like this. She steps out of her room and stops dead in her tracks. Shen Tu is standing there, still in that ridiculous apron, holding one of her cats. He awkwardly apologizes, claiming his OCD just wouldn't let him sit still in the mess. But the sight of a man holding her cat triggers a dark, jagged memory. A silhouette of a man from her past appears, his voice echoing a terrifying don't. She's visibly shaken, and Shen Tu immediately panics, thinking he's made her angry by touching her things. To his horror, she starts tearing up right in front of him. He starts rambling, I'm sorry, I thought cleaning would make you happy, but she cuts him off. It's not your fault, she whispers, trying to pull herself together. She thanks him, explaining she's just being overly sensitive. To change the subject, they start talking about her piano skills. She admits that while her parents forced her to learn, playing now is the only way she can relieve stress. Shen Tu, being the supportive king he is, tells her to be more confident because she's clearly talented. But he can tell her mood is still off. Finally, she decides to open up about the ghost in her closet. She tells him about her time as an exchange student in England. She met a guy at the airport who seemed gentle and caring at first. They moved in together and got a kitten, but then his true colors leaked out. He was a monster who tortured stray cats and eventually started beating her own cat. When she tried to stop him, he turned his violence on her. The memory is vivid, him choking her, screaming that the cats were more important to her than he was. He threatened her, showing her the cat he'd hurt as a warning of what would happen to her if she left. Shen Tu listens, looking absolutely heartbroken for her. She explains that she managed to gather evidence of his animal cruelty and domestic violence, reporting him to the police before fleeing back home. He went to prison, and since he has no family left, she's finally safe. I'm fine now, she insists, though she admits that seeing a guy hold a cat still gives her a bit of a panic attack. She jokes that she called him a snail fairy because of the secret cleaning, which finally breaks the tension. They pivot back to the script, discussing how unconventional and debauched the female lead is. Shen Tu admits his classmates in Sydney were pretty wild, so he's not easily shocked. When she asks why he ever left Sydney, he decides to kill the heavy mood with some self-deprecation. He pulls up an old photo on his phone, a hilariously dorky picture of him as a younger kid, posing with a giant fish. Our heroine loses it, clutching her sides and laughing as he begs her to stop. He tries to regain some dignity by pointing out, "Hey, that yacht in the photo was actually mine." As she looks at him, she notices he has that smile, the kind that actually reaches his eyes. But as things get cozy here, the scene shifts to the Longhee Art Academy, where a mysterious dark-haired guy makes his entrance. Who is this new player, and how is he going to mess with our girl's newfound peace? November has arrived, and the Art Academy is dropping the mother of all bombshells. The final project. The teacher announces that there are no limits. Traditional painting, electronic art, or even installations are all on the table. Our girl's eyes practically turn into dollar signs when she hears the best works will be featured in a prestigious exhibition in the new year. She is officially in beast mode, ready to crush the competition and make a name for herself. But while she's getting fired up, a certain genius named Lai Zun is lurking around the campus. This guy is a total celebrity because of his awards, and the other students are practically tripping over themselves just to get his social media. To our heroine, though, he's just the purple seaweed fox, who once snatched a gold award right out from under her. Our girl heads to the convenience store to stockpile snacks like a squirrel preparing for a long winter of painting. She spots a new strawberry-flavored milk and her eyes sparkle. Just as she reaches for it, a hand beats her to the punch. "Do you like to drink this too?" a voice asks. It's him. Lai Zun is standing there flashing a model-tier smile. He's acting all casual, asking if she's free to show him around the school. Our girl is skeptical, wondering, is this fox actually trying to flirt with me? Little does she know, Ji Yuchuan is right there in the same store buying cigarette beads. The cashier, who clearly has zero chill, points right at our heroine and says, "Hey, handsome guy, isn't your girlfriend over there with another man?" Ji Yuchuan turns around and his mood goes from 0 to total eclipse in a heartbeat. Our girl isn't falling for the fox's charms, though. She shuts him down fast, telling him she has class and he can explore the school on his own. She knows Ji Yuchuan can't stand the guy, so she's not about to start any drama. Outside, she finds Ji Yuchuan sitting alone on a bench, looking like a pouting masterpiece. When she asks why he's sitting there, he simply says, "Wait for you." Honestly, the pining is real and my heart is melting. He grabs her hand and the tension is so thick you could cut it with a palette knife. Our girl can't help but tease him, asking, "Hey, are you jealous?" She quickly explains it was just a chance meeting, comforting him like he's a giant, grumpy child. But just when the vibes are getting sweet, the seaweed fox pops up again. He leaves with a smug grin, leaving Ji Yuchuan absolutely fuming in his wake. Our girl is stressed, thinking, I just finished calming him down, what is that guy's problem? Fast forward to the class trip to the art museum. It's a beautiful day for a picnic, and our girl is chugging calcium milk like her life depends on it. Ji Yuchuan is just watching her, probably wondering how someone so small can drink 4 bottles in one sitting. She's so bored waiting for the museum to open that she starts rolling around on the grass like a hyperactive bunny. In a classic romance trope move, she rolls a bit too far and ends up right on top of Ji Yuchuan. "Sorry, this place is a bit steep," she squeaks. He gently tells her to be careful because her hair is full of grass, but his eyes are screaming something else. He finally admits it to himself. Seeing her with that other guy made him lose his mind with jealousy. He stares into her emerald eyes, realizing he doesn't want her looking at anyone else. The atmosphere turns electric as he remembers the first moment his heart started thumping for her. Amidst the rustling leaves and the quiet whispers of the wind, he finally stops overthinking and leans in. It's happening, guys, a real dramatic heart-stopping kiss right there on the lawn. But of course, the universe hates us because some random student ruins the moment by screaming, "Teacher Liu, come see, someone is kissing over here." They both pull away, faces turning a shade of red that would put a beat to shame. Talk about a mood killer. Yin Ying and Ji Yuchuan are caught in a heavy, suffocating silence as she tries to find the words to bridge the gap between them. But the mood is instantly shattered by a loud museum announcement, and our girl has had enough of the staring. "Leave it, everyone just go see the Monet already," she snaps, standing up to shoo away the nosy onlookers. As she walks away, Ji Yuchuan's heart is thumping so loud he can practically feel it in his teeth. He stays seated on the grass, looking absolutely lost and unable to say a single word to stop her. The regret starts sinking in. Ji Yuchuan wonders if he should explain that he didn't mean to be such a jerk, but he realizes his actions probably looked 100% intentional. He admits to himself that he was acting out of pure petty jealousy, and doing something so disrespectful to her makes him feel like trash. He watches her from a distance, thinking she doesn't even pay attention to him anyway, despite the fact that her stuff is still sitting right there in his bag. Meanwhile, Yin Ying's friends are hovering like hawks. "Why did you take your coat off? Aren't you cold?" one asks. Our girl is blushing like a tomato, claiming she's very hot right now, which leads to her friends being absolute menaces. "Wow, Tilda, so what does Master Jai taste like?" they tease, clearly suspecting some spicy business went down on that grass. They keep grilling her about how he always stays at her place, but Yin Ying tries to shut it down, insisting it's just personal business. The conversation takes a turn when one friend spots a heart-shaped birthmark on Yin Ying and calls it cute. Another friend sighs in envy, admitting she has a big, ugly one on her stomach that she hates. Yin Ying, being the sweetheart she is, tells her not to think like that because her body is beautiful no matter what. From the shadows, Ji Yuchuan watches them being all wholesome and sinks deeper into his "I'm the problem" hole. He actually thinks to himself that since she's so happy with her friends, maybe there's no need for him in her life at all. Bro, get a grip, he wanders off to look at the art alone. But he can't even have a moment of peace before a ghost from his past appears. It's a guy from secondary school and he is a graded jerk. He starts mocking Ji Yuchuan as the great artist who used to just sleep in class. He laughs about how Ji Yuchuan was always the class rep despite not having great achievements. The bully gets even nastier, making fun of his long hair and earrings. He leans in close, whispering that he's nothing but a sissy who likes to wear dresses. Yin Ying sees the whole thing go down. She watches as Ji Yuchuan stands there, looking like his soul has left his body under the weight of those insults. Her heart starts racing, and she decides it's time to unleash her inner lioness. She storms over and demands, "What are you doing?" Before the bully can even blink, she grabs Ji Yuchuan's arm and declares, "I'm his girlfriend." The bully is stunned but doubles down on the pettiness, wondering what a girl like her sees in a guy like him. "Maybe she likes your heart-shaped birthmark, ha 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 ha," he cackles. A security guard finally shuts the guy up for making too much noise, and he slinks away like the coward he is. Yin Ying turns to Ji Yuchuan, genuinely confused. "What's wrong with a birthmark? Isn't it beautiful?" she asks. Ji Yuchuan is floored because, for his entire life, people have only ever used that mark to make fun of him. He quietly thanks her for saving him and apologizes for the disaster at the picnic. But Yin Ying isn't letting him off the hook for that girlfriend comment. "Ji Yuchuan, are you planning to not admit it?" she asks, testing the waters. Later, as he helps her with her luggage at a taxi, the silence returns. Our girl is worried sick, wondering if he's unhappy because of the run-in at the museum. She knows he can be unreasonably argumentative, but this version of him, so quiet and sad, is way more heartbreaking. He drops her off, promising to pick her up on Sunday, and she watches him walk away looking like the loneliest person on the planet. Yin Ying is welcomed home by her family with giant hugs. They've missed her like crazy during her month away. She tries to act normal, telling them she's preparing for final exams, but her mind is miles away. She knows what it's like to grow up without a parent and feels the weight of loneliness in a big house. She can't stop worrying that Ji Yuchuan is returning to an empty, sad home right now. Her family, of course, isn't fooled for a second. She is probably in love, they whisper as she retreats to her room. Cut to Ji Yuchuan on a balcony, brooding over a cigarette. His sister is there, and she is not having his woe is me attitude. She calls him out for tormenting Yin Ying and asks if he's still letting childhood trauma run his life. Ji Yuchuan admits that every time his birthmark comes up, he feels the massive gap between them. He views his family as a broken situation and his father as a ticking time bomb. He truly believes she deserves the best guy in the world, and in his head, that guy definitely isn't him. His sister literally asks if his brain is broken. "She likes you and you like her, you're a harmony of souls," she argues. She even brings up A's love token hidden in a firecracker box from years ago that Yin Ying probably never even knew about. He just sighs and tells her children don't understand, which earns him a very annoyed grumble from his sister. The next day, the angst continues as Ji Yuchuan remains too scared to take another step forward. But his sister is taking matters into her own hands. She meets Yin Ying outside and invites her to the garden. "I actually know a bit about my brother's story in middle school," she says. Yin Ying follows her, realizing that love is a lot more complicated than she ever imagined. Our girl is practically shaking in her boots as she stares at Yu, feeling a heavy tension she can't quite explain. Yu looks absolutely terrifying right now, and our heroine is wondering how she's even supposed to open her mouth to speak. Yu finally breaks the silence, her voice low as she reveals a dark secret. Her brother was brutally bullied in middle school because of his birthmark. Our poor girl is stunned, whispering, "How could, even bullying?" As the weight of his trauma starts to sink in, Yu explains that some things were just too unreasonable, but his pride is so great that he'd never tell her himself. Because of that constant torment, he stopped communicating with others entirely, viewing everyone around him as hateful and cruel. Shiyu notes that while he was unhappy, his personality seemed somewhat normal until their mother passed away last year. She recalls a heartbreaking moment at the funeral where she tried to hold his hand, only for him to scratch her in a blind panic. Ever since then, she's been too afraid to even try touching him again. Yin Ying realizes that lately, he's actually been getting a bit better. He even had the energy to argue with her yesterday. Shiyu teases her, saying that looking at how cute our girl is, it's no wonder people want to give her a head pat. But then she gets serious, handing over her phone and telling her that if she wants the truth, she needs to investigate the old class blogs of Yuchuan Middle School. No. 1. There was a vice teacher back then who understood the situation better than anyone. Shiyu mentions that the school is having an open week, which is the perfect opportunity for our girl to sneak in and find answers. Yin Ying knows she has to take this chance, but she makes a mental note not to tell him that she and his sister ever met. Our heroine arrives at the school gates, her heart racing as she realizes this is her first time visiting the place that broke him. She's managed to track down that teacher, Ms. Zhu, through an old email address found on a blog. Ms. Zhu agreed to meet her almost immediately, which makes our girl realize just how much the teacher must have cared for him. Suddenly, a woman with long dark hair approaches. It's Ms. Zhu. She recognizes our girl instantly, calling out, "Yin Ying, come here." When the security guard questions who she is, Ms. Zhu smoothly lies, claiming our girl is just an old student coming back to visit. As they walk through the halls, Ms. Zhu reveals she knows everything about them living in the same neighborhood and even their current art academy. Our girl is confused, wondering how this teacher could possibly know so much about their private lives. Ms. Zhu leads her to a window, pointing out a painting in the principal's office that he did in the 6th grade. It won a national prize and has stayed there for years as a testament to his genius. But then Ms. Zhu's expression darkens as she says that bad in children can be a very simple, cruel thing. She tells our girl that she's about to show her the most direct evidence of what happened, but she needs to prepare herself mentally. They head to an office where Ms. Zhu pulls up her old notebooks and CCTV footage from that year. Everywhere, the teacher whispers, and our girl's eyes widen in horror as she sees the truth. The footage shows a group of boys cornering him, kicking him while he's down. They mocked him, calling him a sissy, and trying to force him to wear a dress just to humiliate him. It was a systematic attempt to break his spirit and stop him from drawing. Our girl is absolutely devastated, covering her mouth as tears stream down her face at the sight of his suffering. We then flash back to teacher Zhu in the grade leader's office, pleading for someone to help him. But the administration tells her to shut up because the bully's parents are high-ranking directors of the school group. When his own parents finally show up, they don't look angry. They look like they're closing a business deal. The school manager is literally bowing to them, and the mother coldly says, "Our Yuchuan had bothered you." It turns out his parents were business partners with the school's board and didn't want a silly bullying case to ruin their profits. They literally shook hands with the people protecting his bullies and told teacher Zhu to remember her position. Teacher Zhu felt completely helpless as she watched him be sacrificed for a corporate merger. Back in the present, Yin Ying walks away from the school, her heart heavy with the realization of what he endured. She realizes that while her birthmark was a happy charm, his was a thorn that people used to stab him. Suddenly, she hears his voice behind her softly saying, "Yin Ying, don't cry." She wipes her eyes, turning to see him standing there. Ms. Zhu catches up to them, saying she forgot to give our girl something important. She hands over a notebook, explaining that while he was a genius, he also worked incredibly hard. He used to ignore all his lectures just to fill his notebooks with drawings. Our girl opens the book and her heart stops. Starting from the 6th grade, almost every page is a sketch of her. Ms. Zhu smiles, saying she was worried he'd fall in love too soon because he suddenly switched from abstract art to drawing a lovely girl. Our girl clutches the notebook to her chest, sobbing with gratitude as she thanks the teacher. Later, on the train ride back, our boy is acting all grumpy, complaining that she didn't tell him she was leaving. But our girl doesn't care about his attitude. She lunges at him, hugging him tight and giggling. "You're crazy, let me go," he shouts, his face turning a bright, beautiful red. She refuses to let go, teasing him because she knows he secretly loves it. As he blushes furiously, she tells him she's finally figured out what to draw for her final exam. She won't tell him what it is yet, but she looks at him with so much love. She realizes that he's actually liked her for a very long time. As she looks at his flustered face, she thinks to herself that her fish was already in her net from the very beginning. It's been 2 weeks since Yuchuan returned to Longhe, and the air is thick with the stress of the final assessment. Our girl finds him waiting outside her dorm, looking like a literal prince with a tiny bunny tucked into his scarf. He's pouting because she hasn't answered his texts, but honestly, he's just as nervous about tomorrow's finals as she is. Yin Yin is a total mess, covered from head to toe in paint, so she has to turn down his hug. "Who even wanted a hug from you?" He huffs, while our girl is more interested in cuddling the rabbit anyway. He tries to get a sneak peek at her project, but she's not budging. "It's a surprise, sir." The big day finally arrives at the academy. The gallery is packed with incredible works and the pressure is on. Our girl is practically vibrating with nerves. Her friends reveal she's been a total mad scientist, wearing an anti-poison mask for days to finish this masterpiece. She's so exhausted she asks Yuchuan to move her presentation to the very end. It has to be watched at night, she mutters before nearly passing out from fatigue. Finally, it's her turn in front of Professor Liu. She steps up to her work, which is hidden under a heavy blue cloth. She explains that her installation is about the universal experience of being hurt, whether it's bullying, family drama, or a bad breakup. She looks directly at Yuchuan as she explains that this work is interactive. When the lights are on, you see a broken reflection in a shattered mirror. But as night falls, she clicks a switch. Suddenly, the jagged shards transform into a glowing, beautiful heart surrounded by roses. It's a tribute to their journey, how the us from back then was defeated but eventually revived and cured. She wants the world to know that past hurts can eventually turn into something else. She calls them warm thorns in the heart. As the light hits the back of Yuchuan's neck, the message is clear. She's turned his greatest insecurity into art. They share a heavy emotional look as her presentation, titled Dear Dreamers, concludes. Later that night, they decompress at a convenience store. Yuchuan finally realizes that this entire massive project was actually a giant, glowing love letter to him. He knows she even went back to his old school to investigate his past bullies. She tells him that while she used to think birthmarks were lucky, she now knows people can be cruel. But she's firm the malice of society isn't his fault. It's the world's expectations that are wrong, not you, she declares. She looks him in the eye and tells him she actually loves his birthmark, so he needs to stop hating it. She feeds him a snack, noting he's been on his feet for 6 hours straight. Her heart is doing Olympic gymnastics in her chest. Then he drops the ultimate bombshells. He actually praises her work, calling it wonderful. Our girl is stunned because this is the first time the cold teacher Ji has ever given her a compliment. Her heart rate is officially off the charts. In a burst of pure joy, she leans in and plants a kiss right on his cheek. It's a soft, flowery moment that leaves them both reeling. She's so hyped she's basically floating, shouting about how happy she is. They're both blushing like tomatoes, and Yin Yin is trying to tell herself to just wake up because it feels too good to be true. She asks if her work will make it into the official exhibition, but Yuchuan plays it cool, saying he doesn't make the rules. Fast forward to the exhibition, and the students are all hunting for the legendary teacher Ji. He's standing outside looking like a total model. But wait, everyone is staring at his neck. Rumors start flying that he has a couple's tattoo with his girlfriend. He just stands there smoking, thinking about how Yin Yin told him she liked it. Internally, he's a blushing mess screaming, "She even kissed me." Inside the hall, our girl is buzzing with excitement. She's doing a literal victory dance because her work actually got selected for the main building. Even though she's an illustration major, her 3D installation stole the show. She spots Yuchuan and calls out a cute nickname, Chuan, which catches him totally off guard. He's worried about her work being in such an open space, but she's ready for the fame. Some fans recognize them and ask for a photo. Our girl is happy to oblige. The students are losing it over how pretty she is in person. The photographer asks them to strike a cute pose, maybe a heart. They start the countdown, and in a moment she wants to preserve forever, they each use a hand to form a perfect heart together. Back at the dorms, her friends are absolutely roasting them over the photo. They're laughing at how awkward Yuchuan's hands look, but they can tell he's totally whipped. Yin Yin is still in disbelief that someone as perfect as him could actually love her. But there's no time to dawdle. New Year's is coming up, and more importantly, it's Yuchuan's birthday. As the camera pans over the prestigious academy, our girl is already plotting the ultimate birthday surprise for her little boyfriend. Yin Yin is staring at a photo of her and Ji Yuchuan looking totally love-struck. But the cozy vibes are cut short when Lao Zi knocks on her door. He drops a bombshell. Ji Yuchuan came by looking absolutely miserable. Apparently, disaster struck at the exhibit. CCTV footage showed several children from a nearby elementary school got their hands scratched by glass shards. Because of the injuries, the work was dropped and the entire display has been canceled. Our poor girl is devastated, especially since the parents are just offering compensation like that makes up for her shattered dreams. She's literally in tears. Ji Yuchuan tries his best to comfort her, but the sting of failure is too much. Fast forward to the New Year holidays, and Yin Yin has become a total hermit. Her family is begging her to come out for cakes. Worried sick because she hasn't eaten properly since the incident, she's just curled up in a ball in her room, wallowing in self-pity. She's hungry, sure, but her heart is heavier than her stomach. Her family tries to stay positive, telling her there's always a chance in the future. But she's still a sobbing mess. Suddenly, her phone starts ringing. It's Ji Yuchuan. She's been so wrapped up in her own drama that she almost forgot she had been planning to celebrate his birthday. She remembers how he warned her about the open display space, and now she feels even worse for not listening to him. Suddenly, a massive asterisk boom asterisk shakes the house. She jumps up, wondering what that noise is. Realizing it's the sound of fireworks, she rushes to the window and her heart nearly stops. There he is, standing in the snow like a total male lead looking up at her. He tells her, "Come down here with me." He's not there for a pity party, he wants to celebrate his birthday. He's even holding tickets to the art museum. He asks, "Would you?" Yin Yin pulls herself together and tells her parents she's heading out because he's waiting downstairs. They're totally surprised since they thought the kid hadn't contacted her in forever. It's almost 10 o'clock, why go out, they ask, but she just shouts back his birthday. At the museum, she's still pouting, feeling like a bad girlfriend for not having a gift and being so depressed. But Ji Yuchuan is a smooth talker. He tells her this museum is the biggest goal for her future. "I believe that your paintings may also appear here in the future," he says softly. That's all it takes to get her smiling again. He even gives her a playful cheek pinch, calling her stupid for worrying. They head out to catch the fireworks show, weaving through the massive holiday crowds. They find a spot on the big stairs where it's a bit quieter. As they walk, he firmly holds her hand because it's a bit cold. It's the first snow of the season, she realizes. With only 5 minutes left until the new year, they find a ledge to sit on. Yin Yin gets all sentimental, apologizing for being such a downer lately and for failing to prepare anything for his birthday. She offers to buy him any gift he wants with her pocket money. As the clock strikes midnight and fireworks explode across the sky, she whispers, "Happy birthday, Ji Yuchuan." He looks at her with an intensity that could melt the snow. She tells him to think about what gift he wants. He's always been the cold, detached type, a guy who learned to shut down his emotions as a defense mechanism. But tonight, everything is different. He leans in close and tells her that what he wants, no amount of money can buy. And then he finally goes for it, kissing her right as the sky lights up. Our girl is stunned, her heart doing backflips. In this moment, as long as she's by his side, she feels extremely happy. They share a deep, romantic kiss under the falling snow and the New Year's fireworks. New Year's Eve might be over, but the streets are still buzzing with energy as the winter wind carries a heavy dose of romance through the air. Under the glow of the city lights, Ji Yuchuan and our girl finally close the distance, their hands finding each other in a sweet, silent promise. Yin Yin can feel her heart hammering against her ribs like ocean waves, her entire body flushing with a warmth that has nothing to do with the weather. She's completely dazed, her eyes wide as they stop right in front of her house. Ji Yuchuan, looking like the ultimate cool guy turned shy boy, tells her he'll head out now. But wait, is he really just going to leave after what just happened? Our girl isn't having it. "No, you can't go," she shouts, grabbing him before he can make a break for it. She's absolutely fuming and blushing at the same time, demanding to know why he'd kiss her and then act like he's just dropping off a delivery. "If you don't tell me clearly, I won't let you go," she declares, looking him dead in the eye. Poor Ji Yuchuan is struggling to find the words, his cool exterior completely melting away. He finally chokes out her name, Yin Yin I. Before he can finish, he pulls her into a crushing hug, burying his face in her shoulder as he whispers that he really likes her. It's a total K-drama moment, complete with fireworks exploding in the background, literally. But the romantic atmosphere is immediately ruined when Yin Yin's parents pop out of nowhere, wondering why their daughter has been out for 12 hours. Talk about an awkward family introduction. The parents are frozen in shock as they witness the embrace. The rabbit house is officially in shambles as they get a good look at this white-haired boy with non-traditional piercings holding their precious daughter. Yin Yin tries to scramble for an explanation while Ji Yuchuan, ever the polite gentleman when he needs to be, gives them a loud and clear greeting. After he finally heads home, our girl is walking on sunshine, declaring that she'll forgive him just for today. The second she hits her room, the composure vanishes. She dives into her bed, screaming into her pillow like a total fangirl. She's so hyped up she even changes into a summer dress just to match her hot mood, replaying the kiss over and over in her head. "That idiot Ji Yuchuan," she yells, though we all know she's totally smit. Meanwhile, the idiot in question is back at work, preparing for his solo art exhibition. He's being a total perfectionist, demanding to change the entire layout of the small gallery. He wants a series of portrait paintings displayed there, and his assistant is losing her mind because he keeps adding new work at the last minute. But the kicker is he wants the entire room repainted pink. "Sir, we get it, you're in love." Flash forward to the start of the new semester and things are a bit more grounded. Yin Yin is catching up with her bestie, who is naturally horrified that Ji Yuchuan kissed her and then basically vanished into his studio for the entire vacation. He's been so busy with the exhibition that they haven't even been able to meet, which has our girl feeling a little lonely. To distract her, her friend suggests applying for an exchange program at a foreign art academy. It turns out it's the exact same school where Ji Yuchuan studied abroad. Despite the potential costs, Yin Yin is immediately sold on the idea of seeing where her man spent his time. They decide to apply together, and Yin Yin is more determined than ever to chase her dreams and her boyfriend across the globe. Back in the dorms, a phone is ringing off the hook in a messy artist's den. Ji Yuchuan is passed out on the couch, looking like a literal zombie from overworking. He finally groggily answers a call from his friend Zhu Zheng. His friend is trying to get him to join a sports festival, but Ji Yuchuan is so out of sync he's literally bumping into trees. Zhu Zheng teases him about the confession progress, but then drops a bombshell. A new roommate has arrived today. We see the back of a mysterious dark-haired guy, and Zhu Zheng is already plotting, thinking this newcomer is going to push the progress in a big way. While Ji Yuchuan mumbles in his sleep, the drama is already brewing. Back at the girls' dorm, Yin Ying is heading out to grab some eggs for her roommate. She notices a ton of boxes in the hallway and wonders if someone is moving into Ji Yuchuan's old room. Suddenly, she locks eyes with someone and the world seems to stop. Looking down from the window, Ji Yuchuan sees the commotion, but he's too late to stop the encounter. A familiar face from the past stands before her with a smirk. "Long time no see," he says, completely upsetting all of Yin Ying's carefully prepared plans. Our girl is floored, staring at the dark-haired intruder. "Did you really transfer schools here?" she gasps, while Ji Yuchuan watches from above, looking like he's about to have a very long semester. The school's winter sports festival is in full swing, but Ji Yuchuan looks like he'd rather be anywhere else than the starting line of a 5,000-meter race. His teammate tries to ease the pressure, telling him it doesn't matter if he wins as long as he finishes. Lai Zun stands nearby, looking far too calm for someone about to run a marathon. Meanwhile, our girl Yin Ying is absolutely crushing it at the long jump pit. She's in such a zone that she almost breaks the school record on her very first attempt. She takes a moment to look over at the track and is stunned to see Ji Yuchuan actually participating. Who would go crazy and find a person who sleeps and never wakes up to run 5,000 meters? She wonders, knowing his lazy habits all too well. Lai Zun waves at her, acting all humble and claiming he's just as slow as she is. But then whoosh, Ji Yuchuan streaks past them like a man possessed, leaving everyone in the dust. It's time for Yin Ying's second jump, and she's determined to claim that record. "This time I must," she tells herself, charging down the lane. She hits the board and soars, but as she lands, a sickening crack echoes through the air. "Oh, it hurts," she cries out, collapsing into the sand. Ji Yuchuan sees her go down from the track, and his heart nearly stops. Lai Zun manages to reach her first, kneeling down to check on her. He offers to carry her to the infirmary, but our stubborn heroine tries to brush it off, insisting she can walk. Ji Yuchuan isn't about to let that happen. He pushes through the crowd and sweeps her up into his arms before she can say another word. He shoots Lai Zun a look colder than the winter air and declares, "My girlfriend doesn't need your attention." As he carries her away, Yin Ying's heart is thumping out of her chest. She tries to protest, demanding he let her go. He just looks down at her with a smirk and asks, "Didn't you hit your butt and scream in pain? Your leg is twisted, can you still walk?" Our girl has finally had enough of his hot and cold attitude. "I'm not a tool for you guys to play childish jealousy games," she snaps, calling him out for kissing and hugging her whenever he feels like it. Ji Yuchuan stops in his tracks, his expression turning deadly serious. He apologizes for the New Year's kiss and tells her that their relationship is absolutely not casual. He leans in close, his eyes locked on hers as he whispers, "You can understand that I am flirting with you." In the quiet of the infirmary, the doctor finishes checking her. Ji Yuchuan hovers over her, asking if she's still in pain, but Yin Ying is still focused on getting back out there to collect her award. She finally finds the courage to bring up his pursuit of her. Their hands slowly find each other on the bed, fingers trembling as they touch. Ji Yuchuan leans his head against her shoulder and finally admits it. "Yeah, I like you so much." Our girl can't help but blush, whispering back, "Me too." The tough guy act completely crumbles as Ji Yuchuan realizes she actually likes him back. He gets incredibly flustered, admitting it was his first time pursuing someone and he had no idea what he was doing. He tells her to stay put while he runs home to get her a jacket so she won't be cold on the podium. He's so overjoyed that he's practically beaming as he sprints back to the school. He finds her already walking back toward the ceremony and immediately starts scolding her for moving around on her bad leg. "Go where, isn't your butt still sore?" he asks, making her turn bright red. He offers to carry her again, and even though she's embarrassed that everyone is watching, he doesn't give her a choice. Our girl might have a twisted ankle, but she's ending the day with a first prize medal and the guy of her dreams. To our guy, pursuing a girl means making a love breakfast every single morning. Even if he has to ruin 8 eggs just to get one perfect sunny side up, he's going to do it. Our heroine can't help but poke fun at his silent dedication, asking if he'd actually die if he spoke just a little bit more. But actions speak louder than words, and he's soon carrying her through the chilly air on the back of his bike. She leans in close, mentioning that their friends Shen Tu and Lai Dao won an award for their student film festival project. They've been invited to the big movie premiere, and our girl is absolutely vibing with the beautiful invitation. "If you want to go, I'll have time," he says, basically promising her the world on 2 wheels. Honestly, these peaceful, bountiful times are exactly what our girl deserves. He tells her to hold on tight so she doesn't fall, and they ride off into a scene that looks like a literal fairy tale. The premiere is a total glitz and glam affair. Shentu's mother Mei Jiayu makes a grand entrance, looking every bit the elegant queen. She's armed with a massive bouquet of roses for the leading lady, Lai Dao, praising her for being even prettier in real life than in the movie trailer. Lai Dao accepts the flowers with a polite smile, but the atmosphere in this magnificent banquet hall is already starting to feel heavy. Meanwhile, our main couple is tucked away in the seats, looking like adorable chibis while munching on popcorn. But the seating arrangement is a total mess, and someone is clearly unhappy about who they're stuck next to. Our girl's popcorn is almost gone before the lights even dim, and the tension is rising. The purple-haired sister asks to swap seats, desperate to escape the noisy guy next to her. She feels like her life has been saved, but now she's stuck next to a guy who immediately starts questioning the romance between the leads. Are your brother and your sister-in-law really in love now? He whispers, leaning in way too close. She gives him the coldest side-eye in history, clearly over his commentary. You are a bit noisy, she snaps, trying to focus on the screen. This fox brat is proving to be way tougher to deal with than his brother, and he's definitely not taking the hint to shut up. Finally, the movie begins and the mood shifts instantly. On screen, Lai Dao looks breathtakingly melancholic as she plays the piano in a stunning red gown. A handsome musician approaches her in the film, and the chemistry is supposed to be electric. Everything on screen feels natural, yet there's a dark undertone to the story. The narration warns that treating men can honestly cause big trouble, a sentiment that seems to hit home for Lai Dao as she watches herself. As the movie leads lean in for a kiss, the audience is captivated. Shen Tu watches with an intensity that suggests he's searching for something in her performance. Lai Dao, however, looks like she's reliving a nightmare while watching the screen. She looks calm, but inside, she feels like an exhausted seabird returning from a brutal storm. The movie's plot is hitting too close to home. It features a domestically abusive boyfriend, mirroring the sadness she carries in her own heart. She feels like the only person in the room who doesn't know how to move forward. On the set of the student project, the director is preparing for a difficult violence scene. Lai Dao, being the absolute professional, tells her co-star not to hold back. Just hit me, she demands, it will look real that way. The actor delivers a blow that echoes through the room and Lai Dao cries out in genuine pain. The director yells cut, but Shen Tu is standing off to the side, his hands shaking with rage and worry. The actor is quick to apologize, dropping to his knees to beg for forgiveness as part of the scene's aftermath. Lai Dao stands there with a bruised face and empty eyes, the line between acting and reality completely blurred. Back in the present, the credits roll and the fans go wild. They swarm Lai Dao, praising her despicable boyfriend scene and begging for autographs. She looks like she's about to break, coldly telling them she has work to do before rushing out. Shen Tu isn't about to let her go that easily. He sees her hop into a taxi and knows something is deeply wrong. What happened? He mutters, his fist clenching as he realizes her mood has been off from the very start. He flags down his own taxi, telling the driver to follow her car no matter what. Inside, Lai Dao is meeting with a doctor who delivers the crushing news. Her mother has reached the final stage of lung cancer. Lai Dao enters the room, her heart heavy with the knowledge that her mother's time is running out. Shen Tu arrives at the facility, confused and deeply concerned about why she'd come to a place like this. Inside the room, Lai Dao tries to be strong, telling her mother that she's earning money now and can pay for any treatment. But her mother, calmly knitting, seems to have already accepted the end. Then comes the bombshell. Her mother tells her that once she's gone, Lai Dao will finally be free from the burden of her drunk, gambler father and the schizophrenic murderer mother who killed him. Time will erase everything, her mother says, stroking her face. She wants her little Dao to be free of their tragic past. Lai Dao stumbles out of the room, her body racked with coughs and tears. She wonders how she's ever supposed to feel happy if her mother isn't there. Suddenly, Shen Tu is there, catching her before she can collapse. He's seen everything through the window and finally understands the weight she's been carrying. He admits he followed her because she looks so unwell, his voice soft and full of genuine care. I am very worried for you, he says, looking her straight in the eyes. For the first time, it seems like Lai Dao is finally close to finding an answer to the pain that's been haunting her. The legal drama is reaching a boiling point as we learn that because of her mental state and a plea of legitimate defense, the woman involved hasn't been detained, but is currently in a sanatorium awaiting the final appeal. Our girl's friend tries to keep things grounded, asking if she really returned from her exchange studies in the UK just to deal with these family disasters. She can only give a hollow yes as the weight of the situation settles in her eyes. Seeing her look so defeated, he reaches out with a gentle hand on her head. Don't be sad anymore, he tells her, trying to cheer her up by offering to skip the fancy party and take her out to eat instead. He's offering the works, steak, Michelin star spots, or a buffet, telling her she can order whatever her heart desires. But instead of a 5-star meal, they end up at a humble convenience store. Our girl is just too drained for anything else, admitting she just wants to eat and go home to sleep. As they sit there, the floodgates finally open, and she starts spilling the tragic details of her life. She reveals that her mother, who never smoked a day in her life, is dying of lung cancer because of her father's constant secondhand smoke. It gets even darker as she explains her mother's schizophrenia and how she's terrified of losing her forever. She breaks down into a sobbing mess, wondering why she's even telling him all this. He doesn't pull away though, he offers to go to the final appeal with her. He keeps his hand on her head, a silent anchor in her storm. Just believe that the law will definitely give her justice, he whispers, trying to give her a shred of hope. Meanwhile, back with our main man Yuchuan, the jealousy is absolutely radiating off him. He's not even hungry anymore, he has only one burning question on his mind. He looks her dead in the eye and asks, is he or I more handsome? Our heroine is completely caught off guard by this random ego trip. He's acting like a total brat, demanding an answer because he knows Lai Zun has been sniffing around. He's basically visualizing his rival and fuming. Our girl finally realizes he's just being a massive, jealous pufferfish. To soothe his wounded pride, she stands on her tiptoes and whispers the magic words. You're the most handsome and I like you the most, she says, making him melt instantly. She teases him for being so petty, especially since she barely even talks to the other guy. But Yuchuan isn't wrong to be wary. He reminds her that Lai Zun openly admitted he wanted to pursue her. Speak of the devil, Lai Zun is actually right there in the same area. Our girl spots him and asks if she should go over and talk to him. Surprisingly, Yuchuan gives her the green light, though he tells her to hurry back because he's hungry. She waddles over to the cafe area where Lai Zun is sitting, looking like a total Xiaozhou prince. Lai Zun is thrilled to see her, flashing a sparkly smile and inviting her to sit. She thinks to herself that this guy is like a butterfly constantly fluttering around. She decides to be brutally frank to end the confusion. She sits down across from him, determined to clear the air. She looks him in the eye and asks, you have a crush on me, right? She explains that she's noticed him following her and how it's making her boyfriend, Aka Yuchuan, really unhappy. She tries to be polite, saying she might be wrong and asking for forgiveness if she misunderstood his intentions. But Lai Zun doesn't back down. He covers his face for a second before admitting, it's true, I like you. Our girl doesn't skip a beat. She thanks him for the sentiment, but the but is a mile long. Lai Zun, who apparently has super hearing, reveals he knows her relationship with Yuchuan is actually fake because he overheard her phone call. He asks if he still has no chance, even knowing they aren't really dating. Our girl's response is a total heartbreaker for him. She admits that even if it's fake right now, she has never imagined a future without Yuchuan. I've liked him since I was little, she confesses, shutting down any hope Lai Zun had. Lai Zun takes the rejection like a champ, saying he doesn't want to be hated and suggests they just stay good friends. As he watches her walk away through the window, the heartbreak finally hits him. He's joined by a silver-haired girl who calls him out for his flashy and indecent behavior, though she admits he at least has a moral limit. She tells him to stop making things harder for himself since it's clear our main couple is endgame. He looks like he's about to cry, but she just offers him a snack to numb the pain. Later, our girl is back at her desk, exhausted and falling asleep over her notes. Suddenly, her phone starts buzzing like crazy. It's Yuchuan on the other end, sounding a bit shy. He's finally stepping up his game and asks her out on an official date. Our girl is sweating bullets, wondering what kind of romantic chaos he's planning next. Spring is finally in the air as Yin Ying arrives at the location for her big date. She's a little confused when she finds herself standing in front of a quaint flower shop. The clerk inside smiles, telling her that her boyfriend is already waiting for her upstairs in the craft room. Our girl starts to feel a strange premonition, her heart thumping against her chest. She peeks through the door, feeling incredibly nervous as she thinks about her 7-year-long first love. She reminisces about the day they officially became a couple, and the memories are just as sweet as ever. Inside the sun-drenched studio, she finds Ji Yuchuan waiting for her. But wait, our girl is absolutely floored by his new look. Ji Yuchuan, you, she stammers, pointing at his head. He plays it cool, telling her to come over quickly. It turns out the dashing new haircut is actually just a wig, and he's wearing it just to surprise her. He's holding a carving knife, which sounds intense, but he actually wants to teach her how to make a simple firework box like the one he gave her years ago. Yin Ying is touched, thinking to herself how outstanding he is for cosplaying just to make her happy. They get to work, with him guiding her hands to put the wooden panels together. She tries to focus, but with him leaning in so close, her heart is doing backflips. Once the box is finished, he shows her how a gentle press allows a hidden piece of paper to be pushed out. Yin Ying is amazed, but Ji Yuchuan looks at her with a complicated expression. Don't you really? No, he asks. He's stunned that she never realized the original token he gave her had a secret compartment. She admits she found something inside back then, but she was too afraid of breaking his precious gift to force it open. We get a flashback to a snowy day where she left her own token in his mailbox, a symbol of giving her heart to him. Because of a silly misunderstanding involving the wind and a mailbox, they both spent years thinking the other didn't care. Ji Yuchuan looks like he's about to cry, blushing as he whispers, I thought you didn't need me anymore. Our girl immediately goes into chibai brat mode, hitting him and screaming, that's why you were so cold-blooded for all those years. But the comedy fades into pure romance as he grabs her hands. He leans in close, his voice low, I have always liked you, and now I don't want to pretend to be in love with you anymore, he declares. He looks her straight in the eyes and asks the big question, do you agree to be my lover? Yin Ying doesn't hesitate for a second. Silly, how could I not agree? She whispers. They share a long, passionate kiss that's been 7 years in the making. Afterward, Ji Yuchuan is still dazed, touching his lips while our girl teases him. Stop reminiscing, you pervert. She laughs while helping him fix his messy wig. However, the mood takes a dark turn as Ji Yuchuan catches his reflection in a mirror. He thinks to himself that his face is too similar to someone else's, and a seed of fear takes root in his heart. We see a haunting vision of a wedding and a mysterious woman putting a finger to her lips, telling him to shh. What kind of trauma is our male lead hiding behind that handsome face? Back in reality, they leave the shop and he's finally ditched the wig. Yin Ying surprises him with a small bouquet of purple tulips. He's a bit shy about it, but they walk down the street holding hands, looking like the ultimate power couple. She starts pestering him about what he wrote on the hidden note all those years ago, but he's not budging. Say it again, she demands as they bicker playfully under the falling blossoms. A half-month jump takes us to a much more serious setting, a courtroom. A trial is beginning and the tension is thick as the defendant is brought in. Life is full of the unexpected, and Yin Ying is about to find that out the hard way. She heads to her usual drawing room at school, only to find a sign saying the electricity is out for repairs. Desperate to finish a big assignment, she calls her man to see if she can borrow his office. Ji Yuchuan is currently in his studio, frantically painting something he clearly doesn't want her to see yet. He panics and tells her his office is being lent out, but then he offers an even better solution. You can come to my house and draw this weekend, he says. Our girl is left completely speechless, her mind racing at the thought of finally seeing where he lives. Can I use all of them? She asks, her excitement bubbling over. Ji Yuchuan, looking a bit tired after working through the night, gives her the green light, noting that he wouldn't have invited her over otherwise. She's over the moon, promising to use the supplies sparingly, while he just watches her with a look that screams he's totally down bad. The tension in the room shifts as Yin Ying realizes he's just out of the shower and very much shirtless. What is on your mind? He asks, catching her staring like a deer in headlights. She's blushing like crazy, her mind racing with thoughts about how she prepared for tonight, even mentioning she changed into new underwear just in case. The air is thick with romantic energy as they lock eyes, the homework she supposedly came for becoming a distant memory. He leans in, his lips meeting hers in a soft, lingering kiss. One kiss isn't enough, and soon he's cupping her face, deepening the moment while she melts into him. Just a little kiss, you don't need to worry, he murmurs, though she eventually playfully tells him to go away before things get too heated in the kitchen. But the story takes a sharp, dramatic turn into a dark memory, the final trial of Li Yingshuang. The judge stands to deliver a heavy verdict. The defendant intentionally inflicted harm, resulting in death. However, it's revealed to be a case of excessive self-defense, and because the victim's family offered forgiveness, the penalty is reduced. Throughout the ordeal, Shen Tu holds our heroine's hand, being the only pillar of support she has left. Because her mother is a schizophrenic patient, the court grants a lenient sentence, 3 years in prison, suspended for 5. Our girl is overwhelmed with emotion, crying as she realizes her mother won't face the death penalty. The law truly returned justice to us, she thinks, looking at her mother's frail form. But the relief is shattered when her mother starts coughing violently, collapsing right there on the courtroom floor. Back in the present, the wine has officially kicked in and the atmosphere is far more sensual. Yin Ying is wrapped in Ji Yuchuan's arms, her heart thumping like a drum against her chest. They've transitioned from homework to watching a movie and drinking wine, and our girl is feeling a little bold. A bit tipsy and suddenly very jealous, she starts questioning him about his ex, asking if she ever touched him in the same places. He laughs it off, assuring her that his past relationship was barely even official. He didn't do anything more than hold the girl's pinky. You're mine, got it, he whispers, claiming her with another kiss. But the alcohol makes Yin Ying a bit too rowdy, and she starts feeling up his abs, much to his surprise. He calls her a ravenous bunny who's too drunk to know what she's doing. When he asks for her birthday, she giggles that it's July 7th, but then she does something totally unexpected. She bites him right on the shoulder. Ji Yuchuan is stunned, his heart racing as he tries to maintain some level of self-control. He eventually has to push her away, telling her to go take a shower and cool off because if they continue, something is really going to happen. He cherishes her too much to take advantage of her while she's wasted, even if his body is telling him otherwise. The next morning, the sun peeks through the window and Yin Ying wakes up alone, clutching her blanket in a daze. As the memories of the night come flooding back, especially the part where she bit him, she groans in pure embarrassment. She realizes that for a man who usually hates physical contact, her drunken antics were way too excessive, and she's left wondering how she's ever going to face him again. Outside, the snow is coming down so hard that our girl realizes she's trapped. Since classes are canceled on Monday, it looks like she won't be heading back to the dorms anytime soon. Ji Yuchuan doesn't seem to mind the blizzard one bit, pulling her close and noting that they're stuck together on this tiny, cramped sofa. Our girl is on cloud nine, snuggling into him and whispering how happy she is. But things get a little spicy when he tells her to stop rubbing against him, or he'll be forced to take yet another cold shower to calm down. The tension in the room is thick enough to cut with a knife as he leans in close. Yin Yin starts spiraling with guilt, thinking she shouldn't have used being drunk as an excuse to get touchy-feely with him the night before. She's blushing up a storm, practically radiating heat. Ji Yuchuan, being the absolute gentleman, grabs her chin and promises that next time, he won't lay a finger on her unless she explicitly gives him the green light. Of course, our girl can't help but get defensive, snapping back that it's only because he didn't dress properly that she couldn't control herself. He looks at her with those intense eyes, asking if she really doesn't want him at all, especially since he's already feeling the heat. He knows she likes him, and he's not so subtly suggesting that she wants this just as much as he does. The atmosphere is heavy as they stare each other down under the covers. Our girl, ever the chaotic spirit, leans in to whisper something that absolutely shatters the mood. Are you not good at it? It's okay, we can find a way. Ji Yuchuan's face immediately goes dark. He is visibly fuming, his ego taking a massive hit as he glares at her. He sarcastically asks if she has any idea how uncomfortable it is to wear stiff jeans to bed, while she's busy questioning his capabilities. He leans over her, his voice dripping with petty energy, telling her that if she loves touching so much, she should just go ahead and check the quality herself. Our poor heroine is absolutely mortified, screaming that she was wrong as she tries to retreat from his sudden boldness. He finally softens, pulling her into a protective embrace and telling her there's no need to rush into anything. He just wants her to understand that having her here, right now, is more than enough to make him the happiest man alive. They share a tender moment by the window as the snow continues to fall, with Yin Yin finally admitting that she really, truly likes him. But the peace is short-lived because her phone starts blowing up on the desk. It's 7 missed calls from Jai Kai Ming, and you just know that's a recipe for disaster. Meanwhile, across town, we find Shen Tu standing in the cold, worrying his head off about Lai Dao. She hasn't been answering his messages since the court hearing, and the last time they spoke, she sounded like she was at her breaking point. He knows Ji Yuchuan has a place nearby, but his focus is entirely on the girl who's been pushing him away. He makes his way up the stairs, determined to check on her. He finds her apartment in a state of absolute chaos, with empty alcohol bottles scattered everywhere. He's heartbroken, demanding to know why she's drinking herself into a stupor when she knows her stomach is weak. Lai Dao is in a foul mood, snapping that even her own mother doesn't nag her this much. She's crying, asking him why on earth he cares about someone like her. Shen Tu doesn't back down, telling her that every single move she makes affects his mood. He's completely under her spell, and when she asks him to stay the night with her, he knows there's no turning back. The lines between reality and their fake camera angles for work start to blur as they give in to the magnetic pull between them. As they hold each other, the truth about Lai Dao's tragic past finally comes to light. She's carrying a burden no one should have to bear, revealing that her mother actually killed her terrible father just to protect her. She's convinced she's broken, but Shen Tu sees her as something straight out of a fairy tale. He doesn't have an ulterior motive, he just can't stand to see her sad. The night ends in a blur of fireworks and raw emotion. Lai Dao notices him trembling the moment she touches him, realizing just how much power she holds over this boy. She shushes his protests, pulling him into a deep kiss and teasingly telling him to call her sister. Shen Tu is completely overwhelmed, his face flushed as he whispers the word back to her. The next morning, sunlight streams into the room and Shen Tu wakes up looking like a kicked puppy. He greets her as sister again, but the mood shifts when he asks her what she wants for lunch as her boyfriend. Lai Dao is suddenly cold, asking him if he seriously expects her to take responsibility for what happened. Shen Tu is absolutely scandalized, acting like the victim of a classic hit and run. He's outraged, asking if she just used him as a tool to relieve her stress. He calls her a bad woman, accusing her of just playing with his heart. He demands to know if he's just prey to her or a toy she can throw away when she's bored. But despite his dramatic outburst, he looks her dead in the eye and declares that he likes her so much, he's willing to do whatever it takes to be with her. Our girl is left speechless, her heart thumping against her chest as she realizes this puppy might actually be the one to tame her. It's clear our boy is head over heels because he's terrified of even accidentally hurting her. Whether they're kissing or just cuddling, he's meticulously careful with every single movement. It's only when he's completely lost in the moment that he loses a bit of that control, his grip tightening just a fraction on her wrist. Our girl watches him as he sleeps, thinking he looks as innocent as a lost puppy. She actually feels a little guilty, like she's the one bullying him in this relationship. She even considers making a run for it before he wakes up, worried he might actually start crying if he sees her leave. Suddenly, he wakes up and pulls her into a tight, desperate hug. His heart is racing so fast she can practically feel it through his chest. She can't help but notice how he always carries such a warm, sincere heart for her. But things take a turn when he asks her to stay with him right now. Our girl has to be the bearer of bad news, apologizing as she tells him she just isn't ready and needs more time. It's heartbreaking to see him walk away, literally wiping tears from his face as he leaves. Fast forward and spring has turned into summer. Yin Yin is glowing as she rushes to find Ji Yuchuan to share some massive news. Her exchange application to the top arts academy in America was actually approved. But instead of celebrating, Ji Yuchuan looks like his soul just left his body. "Congratulations," he says, his voice dripping with hurt. "You didn't even think to tell me you applied." She tries to play it off, saying she never thought she'd actually get in, but the damage is done. He feels like he's not even a part of her future plans. To make up for the sudden news, she promises to visit during winter break and tells him to wait for her tonight. But the mood is instantly ruined when a mysterious, dark-haired man appears. This isn't just some stranger. It's Ji Yuchuan's father, and he's already eyeing Yin Yin like she's a problem to be solved. Meanwhile, Yin Yin is venting to her friend Lao Zi, feeling guilty for how she handled things. Her friend keeps it real, telling her she can't always rely on her lover's companionship and needs to be independent. But tragedy strikes out of nowhere when Lao Zi suddenly collapses, clutching his chest in agony. "Call an ambulance," Yin Yin screams as her friend's heart condition takes a turn for the worst. While Yin Yin is dealing with that nightmare, Ji Yuchuan is facing a monster of his own. His father is standing in his studio, calling his hard work useless things, and demanding he return to America to take over the family business. When Ji Yuchuan refuses, his father plays the ultimate villain card. He threatens to use his connections to disqualify Yin Yin from her exchange program entirely. Ji Yuchuan is shaking with pure rage, but his father just coldly tells him to learn to take responsibility. Later at the hospital, Yin Yin is a total mess, crying her eyes out as Lao Zi fights for his life. When Ji Yuchuan finally arrives, he can't even bring himself to touch her, his hands trembling from the trauma of his father's visit. He finally confesses the truth: his father is blackmailing him. If he doesn't give up art and join the company, Yin Yin's dreams are over. Our brave girl isn't having it though. She grabs him and begs him not to compromise his life just for her sake. She's determined to go on that exchange, not just for herself, but because it was her and Lao Zi's common dream. With tears in her eyes, she says her final goodbyes at the airport. It's a bittersweet departure, but they both believe that even the deepest wounds will heal one day. They share one last, lingering hug before she heads off to chase her future. The atmosphere in the studio is suffocating as this man in the suit looks around with pure disdain. "Hugging such a large, valuable portion of the school space for yourself, and you even got an exhibition," he sneers, his eyes cold and calculating. Our boy Ji Yuchuan isn't intimidated though, asking point blank what he wants after all these years. The man doesn't mince words. He wants Yuchuan to pack his bags and move to the USA to run the family business. He calls Yuchuan's art useless things, but Yuchuan shuts him down immediately, telling him to stop dreaming. But this guy didn't come without leverage. He walks over to a covered canvas and reveals a stunning portrait of our girl Yi. "Your girlfriend, she got through the exchange application, right?" he asks with a serpent-like grin. He brags about his connections to the school board, threatening to cancel her eligibility with a single phone call. Yuchuan is visibly shaken, his eyes wide with a mix of rage and fear as his father tells him that this is simply how the world works. He offers a small mercy, letting Yuchuan finish his current exhibition, but warns him that he needs to start taking responsibility as his son. As the man leaves, Yuchuan is left alone in the shadows, cursing his absolute garbage luck. The scene shifts to a chaotic hospital hallway where the air is thick with tension. We find our poor heroine Yi hunched over and sobbing her heart out. It turns out old Ji's heart disease relapsed, and she's currently in critical condition. When Yuchuan arrives, he finds Yi a total wreck. She explains through her tears that the doctors don't know if old Ji will even wake up. Yuchuan tries to comfort her, but when she reaches out, he reflexively flinches away. He looks absolutely devastated as he explains that ever since his father reappeared, his old trauma has flared up, and he can't handle being touched again. He finally comes clean about the ultimatum. His father is forcing him to the States and using Yi's future as a bargaining chip. Yuchuan is drowning in guilt, apologizing for dragging her into his family's mess. But Yi isn't a damsel in distress. She stands tall and tells him not to compromise his life just for her sake. She insists that even if they have to be apart, she's going on that exchange program because it was a promise she made to herself. They share a heartbreaking moment, promising to wait for each other despite the distance. Fast forward to the end of August at the airport, and the vibe is heavy with see you later energy. Yuchuan watches her go, feeling like a new thorn is growing in his heart. Yi tells him to take care of himself, and though they're both hurting, they try to believe that these wounds will heal one day. She disappears into the terminal, leaving him behind in the cold, blue light of the airport. Months pass and we see the clock ticking toward 9:00 p.m. It's the opening ceremony of Ji Yuchuan's solo exhibition, and the place is packed with high society types. Yuchuan walks through the gallery looking like a literal prince in a white suit, but his heart clearly isn't in it. He carries a small cake box into a private room, finally exhaling once the crowd is gone. Ever since Yi left, he's been stuck in a massive creative block, finding it almost impossible to even pick up a brush. He sits alone with his birthday cake, feeling completely unsettled without his muse by his side. He reveals that he actually struck a deal with his father to delay the exhibition just so Yi could finish her entire academic year in the US without interference. He sacrificed his own inspiration to buy her time, and now his soul feels like it's dried up. Even standing in the middle of a crowd celebrating his success, the only people he actually wants to see aren't there. He thinks of Yi and then his mother, wishing he hadn't revealed the truth back then. We get a dark flashback to his childhood, where a young Yuchuan tried to help his mother get a divorce to protect her. But his mother had laughed hysterically, revealing that she'd been pretending to be ignorant of his father's affairs just to survive. Shortly after, we see a funeral for Miss Meng, who died far too young. The neighbors whispered that Yuchuan was cold-blooded because he didn't cry at his own mother's funeral, but in reality, he was just hollowed out by the pain. His father had spent years crushing his spirit, calling him dumb for wanting to paint instead of doing math. His mother was the only one who supported him, sneaking him colored pencils and wishing for his happiness. But she was trapped, and Yuchuan had to watch her suffer while standing by the man who broke her. Back in the present, Yuchuan stares at his masterpiece, a breathtaking painting of Yi. He realizes that while pain was once his only source of inspiration, Yi taught him that the true source of art is love. Suddenly, his phone buzzes. It's a message from our girl. "Happy birthday, baby. Sent your birthday present to your email." Even across the ocean, she's still the light that keeps him from disappearing into the dark. Ji Yuchuan is hunched over his laptop, desperately trying to recover an old email account. He's even venting to his pet bunny, muttering that, "Mom, our girl Shiyu is a total little rascal for making this so difficult." Finally, the screen flickers to life as the folder is opened. He pulls up a video from a grand auditorium and his breath hitches. On the screen, we see our girl looking absolutely stunning in a suit, giving a lecture for the Illustration Academy Award. She isn't just there to take a trophy, she's there to set the record straight. She reveals that a brilliant international student was shortlisted for this prestigious award, but because of his background, he was met with slander and eventually disqualified. "We invite you to share your creative story," the interviewer says, but Shiyu has a much more powerful message to deliver. She looks out at the crowd, her eyes filled with determination. She doesn't hold back, declaring that art should know no boundaries of country, gender, or race. "My share about creation may sound like I am criticizing, but I don't regret it," she tells the audience firmly. She speaks of the significance of artists from all over the world gathering together, hoping that their thoughts can be conveyed through their brushes. "That's my wish," she concludes with a soft, hopeful smile. The crowd erupts into cheers, moved by her bravery. When asked who this mysterious friend is, she admits she's being a bit selfish by bringing it up, but this person is her inspiration god. Watching this from his lonely room, Ji Yuchuan is moved to tears. He realizes just how much she's done for him, and the longing becomes unbearable. "I wish I could see you now," he whispers to the empty air. Determined to get back to her, Ji Yuchuan starts making moves. He tells his roommate he's taking a leave of absence for a semester and needs him to watch the bunny. The roommate is more than happy to help, especially since the rabbit seems to love him. He even asks if he can add Shiyu on social media because she gave him some really tasty candy once. Ji Yuchuan just gives him a tired, deadpan look. "Just add her and chat yourselves, it's too much of a hassle for me," he sighs. Finally, it's time to move forward. He boards a plane, crossing oceans to reach the person he longs for. After 6 long months in a foreign land, they are finally reunited. Our girl runs into his arms and he pulls her into a crushing hug, finally feeling her warmth again. Back at their place, things get cozy fast. He even brought her a special pillow and a new game she wanted. He reaches out, gently touching her arm, his heart thumping in his chest. "I miss you," he murmurs before pulling her into a deep, passionate kiss. But just as things are heating up, Ji Yuchuan suddenly pulls away. He stammers that he needs to go to the bathroom and practically bolts out of the room. Our girl is left standing there totally confused. "We haven't seen each other in 6 months and you're already throwing up from a kiss?" she shouts, half offended and half worried. She finds him slumped on the bed, looking pale. He explains that as soon as he landed, he went to see his father first, and the encounter left him feeling physically sick. "It's all over now," he says, but his eyes tell a much darker story. He finally decides to stop hiding his past from her. He explains that his father is a complete scumbag with corrupted morals who only married his mom to maintain the image of a perfect wife for society. Ji Yuchuan's voice trembles as he recalls finding a disgusting affair diary in his father's study, filled with names and photos. One night, while his mom was sleeping upstairs, his father even brought people home to the living room. "I never wore short sleeves again after that," he admits, huddled on the bed. He looks at his own reflection, terrified that because he looks like his father, he might turn into a heartless monster too. Our girl immediately pulls him into a hug, cutting off his spiraling thoughts. "I believe in you," she says firmly. "You'll never hurt me like that." She looks him right in the eye, telling him that she's on his side and that his father is the one who is despicable for his manipulation and hypocrisy. Retribution has already come for the old man, though. Ji Yuchuan had slammed the evidence of his affairs on his desk, and his father is now facing the consequences, even appearing to be physically ill. "It's okay," our girl whispers, stroking his hair. "You have me, my family, and Kiko rabbits. We're all your family now." As they settle in for the night, the weight of the past finally begins to lift, replaced by the quiet promise of a future together. Morning comes and Yi is in a total panic. Ji Yuchuan, bad things happened, she yells, bursting into the room. It turns out her senior sister's cat is missing, and she's frantically checking social media for updates. But instead of finding her man on the bed, she finds our guy wrapped up like a human burrito on the floor. "Good cat morning," he says groggily, though our girl is confused why he isn't on the sofa. Apparently his legs are just too long for the couch and he couldn't get comfortable. He looks up with those puppy dog eyes and suggests they just sleep together from now on. Yi teases him for choosing the hard floor over a bed, but he's willing to suffer if it means being near her. "I'll hold back," he promises, giving her a look that says he definitely won't. She shifts back to the cat drama, worried sick about the poor kitty. Ji Yuchuan isn't exactly the most sympathetic, basically saying there's nothing they can do from across the ocean. But our girl insists they give advice, like leaving food and litter by the door. Meanwhile, in the pouring rain, another drama is unfolding. A girl finds her man, Shen Tu, soaking wet in a parking lot. He's desperately searching under cars for Custard Bun, the missing cat. This is a guy who obsesses over cleanliness, yet here he is crawling in the mud for her. She realizes just how much he's changed over the past year, always being by her side. They eventually hear a faint meow. Custard Bun is found safe and sound. The relief is overwhelming as they pull the cat close. In the middle of the rain, the tension peaks and they share a soaking wet cinematic kiss. Time skips ahead to Yi's one-year anniversary with Ji Yuchuan. She's dressed to the nines, wondering if he's planned a surprise for her. When she arrives at the location, she's greeted by a massive, breathtaking portrait of herself. Ji Yuchuan appears, looking like a literal prince in a white suit. He's turned the entire space into a private gallery dedicated solely to her. Our heroine is blushing like crazy, asking if anyone else has seen these. He admits he was going to wait until she returned to the country, but he just couldn't be patient anymore. He leads her further in and she notices a camera set up on a pedestal. Her heart starts racing. Is this really happening? She's mesmerized by the art, but he whispers that she's even more beautiful in person. Suddenly, the atmosphere shifts as he pulls out a small box. Our girl can barely breathe as they walk through the flowers. She thinks to herself, it couldn't be something cheesy like "Marry Me," right? But then he drops to one knee. He confesses that he used to think relationships were fleeting, but she changed everything. He wants to see her smile every day and hold her every night. He even shows her a childhood promise he kept all this time. Then he opens the box to reveal a stunning emerald ring. "I want to have a home with you," he says, "so are you willing?" With tears in her eyes, she finally says the words, "I do." The chibai versions of them celebrate, though Yi is so excited she almost holds up the wrong finger for the ring. It's a perfect match for her green eyes. He's almost in disbelief that she actually said yes. But then our girl's snarky side comes out. She mentions there's one more issue. She hasn't inspected the goods yet, referring to their physical compatibility. She recalls a previous awkward moment where they were unprepared and had to use a fluorescent green health pack from the school infirmary. Outside, the world fades away as the rain begins to patter against the window, leaving them alone in their own private sanctuary. As the first light of dawn begins to peek through the curtains, our heroine feels like she's floating in a beautiful dream. Fast forward 2 years later in Long City, and life is looking like a total fairy tale. After her exchange program ended, our girl moves straight into Ji Yuchuan's apartment, and let's just say he didn't waste any time wanting to make things official with a formal proposal. In their daily life, Chuan is still a total clingy puppy, often pinning her down for morning cuddles while she giggles, Chuan, you're on top of me." Her parents were ready to throw hands when they heard about the proposal, but they immediately pulled a total 180 and became his biggest fans once they realized he'd handed over his entire salary card to her. It's finally graduation day, and even though Chuan finished a year early, he skipped his own ceremony just to be by her side today. She teases him for having such a stern, Ice King face in their photos, but the poor guy is actually struggling. "I thought I was smiling pretty happily," he pouts, insisting his cheeks actually hurt from trying so hard. Chuan has been working behind the scenes to get her project book signed by publishers, but the industry is a nightmare for new artists. He apologizes for not being able to give her the book deal as a graduation gift, but our girl just smiles. She's already building her own following on social media, determined to make her own way. Suddenly, he grabs her hand and shouts, "Let's go to the Civil Affairs Bureau. It's time to officially become Mr. and Mrs. Ji," and the internet is already losing its mind over this legendary artist couple. 7 years pass, and the two have become absolute legends at the Academy. She's now a world-renowned children's book illustrator, and he's the honorary president of the gallery. At a special autograph session, the freshman girls are absolutely losing it over how handsome he is. "You absolutely don't look like a 30-year-old uncle," they scream, leaving our girl to snigger in the background. She's still the same angel, handing out water to the thirsty fans despite Chuan's playful jealousy. Looking at the noisy students, she can't help but feel nostalgic, remembering how they were just like these kids 11 years ago. It's raffle time at the event, and a nervous student clutches her ticket with a thumping heart. When number 427 is called, the girl looks like she's about to faint from pure joy. She tearfully tells teacher Yin Ying how much her books inspired her to join the academy. Seeing the impact of her work, our girl realizes her paintings are doing exactly what she hoped, healing people and giving them strength. Chuan then hands her a special invitation to her very first solo exhibition at the gallery, a dream they built together. Years later, the family flips through a photo album titled Teddy Bunny Memoirs with their daughter Xiao. They laugh over old vacation photos where Chuan had to stay on shore because he's the only one who can't swim. From their vows kiss at the wedding to the birth of their genius daughter, every photo is a treasure. Chuan even quit smoking for 6 months just to make sure their little girl was healthy, showing he's still the ultimate devoted husband. Looking at the group photos, everyone from their past has found their own happiness. As they sit together on the couch, our girl looks at her daughter and asks the most important question of all: what do you want to become in the future? Fast forward to next summer, and we find ourselves on a luxury cruise ship. It's a bit of a nostalgia trip for our girl, Yin Ying, as she remembers her graduation trip, though this cruise definitely hits different. She leans back, looking absolutely stunning, and teases her husband, Ji Yuchuan, about his birthday gift. He's currently busy painting her portrait, but she's impatient for the second gift he promised. Yuchuan, looking like a literal god, tells her to sit straight and stop moving. Honestly, even when he's being a grumpy teacher, our girl can't help but think he's the most handsome man in the world. As he works his magic with the brush, Yuchuan asks if she remembers the very first birthday they celebrated together. It was the first time he ever painted her. Yin Ying smiles, remembering it like it was yesterday. Back then, 11 years ago, their secret base was a dried-up stone river in the neighborhood. In the flashback, little Yin Ying is freezing her toes off while a young Yuchuan scribbles away. She notices that he always smiles when he's drawing, which is a rare sight since he usually looks like everyone on Earth owes him money. She started to wonder back then if a simple pencil and paper held some kind of magic. Finally, he finishes and shows her his masterpiece. Except it's a total disaster. Our poor heroine is devastated, asking if he actually hates her. Yuchuan tries to save face, claiming it's his new Picasso style. Yin Ying isn't buying it, joking that Picasso would come back from the dead just to beat him up for that. He promises to draw a better one next time, one as pretty as she is. Yin Ying then realizes a funny coincidence. Her nickname, Yi, sounds just like the pronunciation of his birthday, January 1st. It's like they were destined to meet. She asks him to teach her how to paint, and that's how their precious memories began to grow. Back in the present, Yin Ying admires the new portrait on the ship. Yuchuan has been in the bath for over an hour, and she's starting to wonder what's taking so long. Suddenly, the door opens and Yuchuan walks out. But he's not just in a robe, he's tied a massive purple ribbon around his chest like a gift box. "Does it mean you want to package yourself up as my second gift?" she asks, laughing. He pulls her close, whispering that since it's his birthday, he has to satisfy his quirky wife's wishes. He carries her off, determined to keep things fresh in their marriage. Later that night, as the waves sway the ship, Yuchuan asks if she wants him to unwrap her. After some very romantic festivities, they cuddle up together. Yin Ying mentions she had a dream about a little girl who looks like her but has his purple eyes. She asks if they'll have children in the future. Yuchuan kisses her forehead, saying it's a bit early, but they'll wait until they can give her a good world before calling her out of that dream. Meanwhile, across the world, another couple is having a moment. Dinar is being led around by his girl to a place full of nostalgia, the aquarium where they first met. She's prepared a super detailed date map, which is typical for our self-neglecting but hardworking girl. They visit the belugas and penguins, having a blast. Dinar notices a polar bear with a very familiar, nonchalant poker face. He realizes it looks exactly like him. Looking at a photo of their friend's wedding, he reflects on how everyone went their separate ways after graduation. He tells her that coming home to her every day makes life beautiful. He even suggests moving back to Australia together to start a business. But when he looks up, she's gone. She calls him, telling him to head to the Mermaid Gallery. When he gets there, he's standing in a suit with a huge bouquet of roses. Suddenly, his girl appears behind the glass, dressed as a stunning mermaid. Dinar is stunned, but then he realizes she's the one proposing to him. "This should have been my responsibility," he thinks, totally flustered. Underwater, she gives him a sign, and they share a kiss through the glass. She's no longer the mermaid who vanishes into bubbles. She's found her happily ever after. Finally, we head to New York. A cool girl in sunglasses and a guy in a convertible are cruising through the city. She's checking social media and sees that Shen Tu and Lai Dinar just got engaged. Her driver, Lai Zun, starts drifting the car like a madman. He's been her secret driver for 3 months, and he's tired of being hidden. He demands to know when she's going to make their relationship public. She finally gives in, posting a picture of them together. On the other side of the world, Yuchuan and Yin Ying wake up to the news. I've discovered something incredible, the post reads. Even though they knew this day was coming, it's still the talk of the town.